Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 296, baby.
Yoink.
We got our bench clearers on. Today we're going with the Buffalo Sabres. Cam, this is the old school Buffalo Sabres.
I got my, I got the Blues one right here.
Put it on. Let's go. Put it on.
Well,
I mean, this guy's got the Blues hat and the bench clearers Blues jersey.
I'm a fan.
Well, people were chirping you because you weren't wearing Blues, or you said you didn't want to wear Blues or whatever?
No, I just said I like wearing other. I should take my under. Wait.
I mean, you look like Kevin McHale or something from back in the day.
But these things are badass for the summer, man. It's been like 110 degrees here in St. Louis. It's so miserable. I feel like I like Missouri winters. I don't like Missouri summers. Missouri summers are god awful, man. 110 degrees, humid as shit. But the winters, like, I don't care if it's slushy here and there. It's probably 40. I know it gets cloudy. You could put a fire on in the house. The house is at least comfortable. I gotta lock shit down, man. Every single blind. It's like a fucking heroin addict. You want to shut You want to put all the lights down off and all that shit. You gotta turn you shut down your house. Otherwise, it's 75 degrees in there.
Can we have the jersey back up here?
Yeah.
Don't ever put a jersey on the floor. Anyone ever tell you that?
Tell me how to.
No, anyone ever tell you that?
Tell me how to be a teammate.
They teach you that with the Devils? Like, don't ever put the jersey.
Or step on the logo.
Now they put the logo on the ceiling, which
I saw that.
I'm not a big fan of that. I like it on the floor.
Did you see Florida's practice facility?
It's amazing.
It's unbelievable. Looks like the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Really cool.
Yeah.
They got a good thing going down there in Florida.
Yes, they do. And hopefully they get more fans now because of it. Big shout out all y'all out there in South Florida, the whole state of Florida, the region. Those fans have been suffering for a long time. I'm talking about the real fans.
Yes.
The ones who have been going to the games all these years, and now you finally got a Stanley Cup to go along with what Tampa Bay has been doing, man, in the state of Florida. So big shout-out, congrats to the Panthers fans.
So that was fun. That series turned out to be pretty damn cool. It really did.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of eyes on it. It
wasn't very good early on.
A lot of non-hockey people were talking about Connor McDavid, the comeback, the flight situation, all that kind of stuff. At the beginning, people were like, okay, this is over. It's fucking over. We said it. Everybody said it. We're all wrong. Fine. But it turned out to be a damn good series, and it was good for hockey, man.
I will say this. Each of the 3 games Edmonton won, I felt like they were going to win.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to win Game 5 after winning Game 4, and once it went back to Edmonton for Game 6, I really felt like we were going to have a Game 7. I know some people felt like in order for Florida to win, they had to win that Game 6 in Edmonton, but just get it done at home and
shut them down
and win a Game 7. So I would have liked to see. Listen, I'm not going to get into the whole McDavid and the Conn Smythe, because the guys I was watching the game with, they said, "Hey, who's going to get the Conn Smythe?" I said it's going to be McDavid, because I didn't think there was a clear cut leader in the clubhouse for the Panthers. At one point during the series, it was Bobrovsky, then maybe it was Barkov.
And we talked about that.
But after losing 3 straight, I just felt like, I don't know who you give it to for Florida. I said, McDavid's going to get it because he's breaking all these records, 40-plus points, breaking, Gretzky's assist record for the playoffs. I felt like he was going to win the Conn Smythe. And I don't have a problem with it, but I would have liked to see him really show up in a different way. I don't want to sit here and say he didn't play well or didn't show up in Game 7, but not finding your name on the score sheet. I mean, that's an opportunity for him to elevate his status historically forever by finishing off the comeback. Man, getting to a Game 7 is an accomplishment, but then going scoreless in Game 6 and Game 7, and Draisaitl being quiet.
Draisaitl being quiet too, Andy. Don't forget
tough,
him.
Man. You gotta analyze it the right way. I know he got a lot of points throughout the course of the playoffs, and he deserves all the recognition that he's getting, but I would have liked to see him make a difference in that Game 7.
I think a lot of people would agree with you on that, of course, especially a lot of people in Edmonton, but he didn't have it, man. He was straight-legging at the end.
He's falling down.
I remember a couple plays, where, the notorious goal on Nico Mikla, really was on 4 guys, 3 games ago, whatever it was, and he deked everybody out, and you have a still camera from above, you see him as a 1-on-4, he finds a way, he's using his speed. He tried to do that a couple times in Game 7. Straight-legged, turned it over, fell down, just didn't have it. Now, give Florida credit, too. It's not just McDavid, straight-legging it. Florida, they did a hell of a job, man. They were in sync on the defensive side. They weren't turning the puck over. They just played solid. Boring and solid. And, of course, Reinhardt goes down and rips one. After they they almost scored. Oh my God, it was chaos.
They didn't even have the puck before that.
I know. And then Reinhardt's like, I'm going to go down there. I scored 57 this year. Yeah. What's his contract going to look like?
I don't know, man. We'll see. He's going to get paid a
lot
of money. Well, no, he's going to get somewhere. Depends on where he signs. But he deserves somewhere in that $9 million range, I would think. I mean, if you're Florida and you got Barkov at 10, Matthew Tkachuk at 9.5, I don't think he gets to 9.5. I don't think he's a 9.5 player on that team.
I don't either.
But I think you could certainly say that he's in that $9 million range, man. He deserves to get, as long as you can be comfortable feeling that the production that he delivered this year, that he's going to be able to sustain that. I don't know if he's going to score 50 every year, but what kind of performance are you going to get and production are you going to get from Sam Reinhart moving forward, man? That's
he's a hell of a player, man.
He is.
That was a fun team to watch all year. The whole year was fun, in my opinion, as a whole. The NHL was fast. The skilled guys were scoring goals. The superstars looked like superstars. There was fights. There was emotion. There's a little bit of everything. You had Game 7, the Stanley Cup Final.
You have trades happening.
You have trades happening.
The Stanley Cup Final.
Left and right. What about the trades going on right now? A lot of action going on already. What do you want to start with? Ottawa, Boston? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm glad that Ottawa got a goaltender. You know they needed one. Ullmark will do well there.
Yeah.
And hopefully Ottawa can get in the playoffs so Brady can stop having to go to all of Matthews' things, and now Matthew can go to some of Brady's games. I'm looking forward to that. And listen, they're such a unique family, man, and they get along and support each other so well. Like, it's really amazing to see, honestly. I love their family dynamic, how well they get along and how they support one another. But I can guarantee you that Matthew looks forward to that day as well, just as much as Brady does.
Yeah.
Being able to go to the rink and watch Brady and celebrate Brady because he truly is an alpha male in the NHL. He's one of the best players in the league, and just so happens his situation is completely different. And, they're still trying to get there. But getting a goaltender is certainly going to help because it's a big step. It's been an issue for them. They had the worst goaltending in the league last year, Ken. Their goaltending was god-awful.
They were bad.
Terrible. So now they got a goalie. And Ullmark, man, can he sustain the same level in Ottawa that he showed in Boston? This guy was a Vezina Trophy winner like a year ago, right?
Yeah.
So now they get a Vezina Trophy winner, and hopefully
it's a good start.
He can get them into the playoffs.
Because we pissed off a lot of our Ottawa fans the other day, talking about Brady moving and stuff like that. So we apologize, man. My bad on that. My bad. Andy started it, to be honest with you.
Well, no, I mean, I just keep hearing it, and eventually you're going to lose him. That's just the way it goes, unless you start really building a winner and start winning.
That's true.
Because he's not going to stay there. He's not just going to, play it out. He's going to force his way out of there eventually. I don't want to get back into that whole conversation.
Yeah, don't piss him off.
No.
I'm getting shrapnel.
But it's just the reality of the situation.
It is, Andy. It truly is. Listen, we all want to see him.
Yeah.
He's one of the most fun players to watch in the NHL.
Yeah.
Does a little bit of everything. I want to see him in the mix. I want to see him in the playoffs when the bright lights are shining down on him. We haven't seen that yet. He even came out and said, it's been 7 years, I haven't accomplished shit. Like, he's not happy. He's smiling with his mom and dad and his brother and Taryn, his sister, and stuff like that. But in reality, he's like, okay, it's my turn to shine.
It's a dream come true for the whole family,
no doubt,
man. And I love the fact that, hey, Big Walt and the Tkachuk name, is going to be on the Stanley Cup because it belongs on the Stanley Cup, even though Matthew's the one who delivered it, obviously.
Yeah, but Walt's like, this is the coolest thing.
Oh, yeah, he's putting the cup over.
Backhand, do it, baby. You deserve it. We love you, man. Jeremy Roenick, what are you thinking?
It's fine. Listen, to me, Roenick is one of the best players of his generation.
Yeah.
Growing up, to me, he was always a superstar when you were watching him play. So
hell yeah, he was.
It took a little while for him to get in. Hopefully, this springboards others to get in behind him. Maybe this, sets the table for Keith Tkachuk to get in.
Alexander McGillney as well.
I would think that the fact that Matthew and Brady are having so much success can only help Keith eventually get into the Hall of Fame. But you mentioned McGillney. He should have gotten in before Roenick, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
I think he should get in. I think he set the table. He's got more of a historical impact on the game of hockey, too, in terms of Russian-born players coming over and what he's
defecting.
What he did and what he had to go through to get here. Shea Weber, he didn't scream first ballot Hall of Famer.
Were you surprised too?
A little bit.
I was too.
Now,
hell of a hockey player.
Great player.
Hell of a hockey player. Hell of a shot.
Again, one of the best defensemen. Of his era.
Sure.
Yeah, and he was a two-time first team All-Star NHL defenseman.
It did surprise me.
He had 2 years in a row. He was a second team all NHL defenseman.
Yeah.
So that 4-year span, he obviously was a dominating player. Scored over 200 goals in his career for a defenseman. That's a lot. Dealt with a lot of injuries. Obviously had one of the hardest shots in the history of the game. He is a great player. And he's deserving of a Hall of Fame nod. This quickly, did he deserve to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? When you look at his credentials, like when I see Pavel Datsyuk and you read his credentials and the Selke trophies and the Stanley Cups and all of that, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yep,
so I'm not taking anything away from Shea Weber. I was just a little bit surprised that he gets in this quickly, first ballot. I think he deserves to get in. I just don't know if I see him as a first ballot.
What's the difference? We could totally look this up, but like I think Roenick and Walt both have similar points.
Similar.
Not that far off.
No.
Walt's got a lot of penalty minutes.
Yeah.
You know, what about hardware as far as Roenick? What did he win? He wins.
I don't think so, unless he would have won the Calder. I didn't look that up. If he would have won the Rookie of the Year back in the day, but he put up some incredible numbers.
Yeah, he did score
early in his career in Chicago. This guy was a true superstar. You know, Keith led the league in scoring, I think, in back-to-back years. He had back-to-back 50-goal seasons. Austin Matthews was the first American-born player to lead the league in goal scoring since Keith Tkachuk. You know, they had their, influence that they both had with Team USA and winning the gold medal back in 1996.
That was fun, man.
And both were considered superstars during their careers. They're very similar. It's kind of hard to, like, differentiate the two.
I mean, if one goes in, the other
final,
one,
right?
Yeah, and he lost Pittsburgh in '92 or 91, 92, or whatever it was
with Chicago.
But I feel like if he gets in, Walt should get in. Like they're pretty
Walt
similar.
Will get in.
Okay, I'm just saying.
He will get in.
Not that big of a deal. He's okay. He's doing okay.
He's doing okay.
He still probably hasn't slept yet. Hopefully he doesn't go in the ocean.
Now he's got
to
go to the draft and he's got to work now.
Walt, you better watch that ocean down there. A lot of sharks cruising around in Florida, man. I see fucking videos of these sharks everywhere. They're everywhere down there, dude.
It is interesting in Florida, though, Cam.
Yeah.
Because you see, like, when Washington wins the Stanley Cup and they're just all over the place. St. Louis wins the Stanley Cup and you see the reaction. Colorado, fans everywhere, and they're celebrating with the fans. I just see these videos of the Panthers, and they're basically they went to a player's house. I think they went to Matthew Tkachuk's house. He kind of had the after party. They stayed at the rink till like 5 a.m. or something like that.
They went to the elbow room early. There's nobody there.
And there's nobody there. They're on the beach, and there's nobody there.
That was probably early though. But I did see a couple of videos like women are like walking and like jogging, and they're walking their dog, and the guys are walking by them with the cup. And they're like,
it's just Florida, man. You're not going to have the same type of...
Different, dude. Everybody's in their own world.
You don't have the entire city of Florida.
But you know what?
Being like, where's the cup? Where's the cup?
Sometimes that's nice, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. Like, when we saw that here in 19, we just got done talking to Benner, who's going to be on this podcast. But like, that was cool. What we saw in 19 here. But it's also kind of cool to go down to Florida, jump in the ocean. No one's bothering you. You don't have that many people cruising around. Like, it's just, I don't know. You get sick of that shit, too. So we look at it and we're like, wow, you're not experiencing it like you did maybe in like 19 in St. Louis. But on the other hand, they don't give a fuck.
No.
Go do your thing, baby. You're in Florida. Stay out all night. You got the ocean right there. My God almighty.
Would you have given McDavid the Conn Smythe?
Yeah. Doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I thought he would win it.
Yeah, I know.
And he's deserving of it.
Yeah, he is, dude. It is what it is. I don't care if he didn't have points unless he deserves it. Yeah. But I get why he wouldn't go out and accept it.
Why would he go out and accept it?
Well, because who do you think would? So McDavid didn't do it, and he was so fucking pissed. Yeah, and I get it. But like, there's other guys that would do that. I don't think McKinnon would have done it. I don't think Barkov would have done it. I think Matthews might have done it.
Austin
Matthews, if they didn't win, maybe he would do something like that. I could be wrong.
Like, Connor's won so many awards. It's a big deal to win the Conn Smythe. Could you imagine if he goes on his entire career and he wins a Conn Smythe and not a Stanley Cup?
Oh yeah, no, I know.
I mean, how mentally taxing would it be to go that far with all the pressure that he deals with on a daily basis in a market like Edmonton, in Canada? Dude, this guy has so much on his plate. We talked about it with Binnington and other players have brought that up in the past too. How much this guy has on his plate, how much he deals with in comparison to everybody else. And you bring your team all the way back from being down 0-3 in a series, you tie it up and then you lose game 7. Like, how long is it going to take him to be able to mentally regroup and try to do this thing all over again?
It's a terrible feeling. And not to mention, like, you lose in the Stanley Cup Final, and you look at the calendar, and you're like, okay, I got some rest. It's fucking July.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got like 2 weeks, and then I got to get my groove back on.
Yeah.
Everybody else has been working out for months, and you didn't win. Like, it does set you back, man.
Yeah.
Like, your injuries don't heal in time. Like, there's a lot that goes on. You know he's banged up. Did they come out and say something? He had like a torn something. I think Draisaitl had some broken ribs.
Had something.
They all have something, though.
It's not the same player.
But you can't look at that like those guys were hurt. Oh, well, look at Panthers.
Yeah,
I bet you all those guys are fucking banged up. Yeah.
Everybody's hurt. And that's why it's so difficult to win.
I had a good time watching hockey this year, though.
Yeah. Listen, I watched Game 7 in Canada, which was a cool experience, man, to see a Stanley Cup Final Game 7 in Canada. The entire country's going for Edmonton for the most part.
See, I didn't think that was the case.
Oh, yeah. Unless you're, living in Calgary, maybe.
Yeah.
We were at this restaurant, packed, right? There's TVs everywhere. Place is packed. We're sitting outside, and my kid's wearing a Tkachuk jersey. He's the only one in the entire place that's going for the Florida Panthers. And when they win it, he's screaming. I mean, this kid, he was so excited, man. He was so genuinely happy that they won. He loves the Panthers, and he's a huge, Matthew Tkachuk fan. He loves Barkov, all those guys. Reinhardt, too, man. He just likes the Panthers. And so when they won, he's like screaming up and down. And I got the video, and everyone's just like looking at him like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So
well, he's a kid's excited about watching.
Very non-Canadian thing to do in Canada. But it was cool to watch a Game 7.
Canadians are cool, man. And I'll also give Paul Maurice a little shout out. He had a great post-game interview. He did say something that was a little bit odd. About Winnipeg, and I'm thinking, aren't you coaching next year?
People love that, though.
Who? Do you think the player is... People in Florida like that?
The media were like, who
cares about the media? The media that you chirp every day, that's like we both do, we critique. No, like, it was odd. I liked everything else. What he said about his mom and dad. He's like, Dad, our name. He started raffling off the big dog names. He said Maurice at the end. Like, that was awesome. But then he's like, I want Winnipeg to win the Stanley Cup next. Okay. Aren't you coaching next year?
I know.
Is your contract up?
Right.
That was odd. It was.
I just think he felt like he had to.
Why?
And it was a Canadian interview.
Why?
On the Canadian broadcast. I don't know.
Andy.
I've never heard.
That was bizarre.
I haven't heard.
It's all good.
I like what Matthew said, where he said,
that was cool.
We did it for Calgary, too, to beat Edmonton, kind of.
That's cool.
Around.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But to say that.
He's like, he didn't say, I hope Calgary wins next year.
No. He said, that's for you, Calgary. I know you didn't want Edmonton. I get all that. But the Maurice thing. But, hey, credit to him, man. Mm-hmm. And Jamie Compound, too, who we know.
We're going to get him on it.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
He's won now, I think 3 Stanley Cups at 3 different teams. I mean, how many assistant coaches can say that they've done that, where you win in, L.A., Chicago, and now Florida?
Pretty big deal.
And, there's certain coaches, man, like a Joel Quenneville, for example. He worked with Darryl Sutter, but, Paul Maurice. But, like, Joel would take Jamie with him wherever he went. He had him here in St. Louis. He was able to bring him back, obviously, when he got to Chicago. And Paul Maurice had Jamie in Winnipeg and brings him with him to Florida. I mean, there's certain coaches like that who just have the respect of the big dog coaches, and the big dog coaches know I need these guys around to be able to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
No doubt, man. You got to surround yourself with the right people. I remember playing against Jamie like when I was young, just coming up, and we'd skate in these like morning skates at Kirkwood, and he would dominate. Like, look, this guy's a pro. Mm-hmm. He's supposed to be like an unbelievable athlete and whatnot. Let me ask you something.
Great. He's in great
Imagine
condition.
You were assistant GM or whatever for Blues, whatever, high up, doing your thing. Mm-hmm. Fucking dedicate Blues. You're going on a run, and you got a podcast bashing, chirping you, always rooting for the other team, always rooting up for the other team. You know what I'm talking about with RA, who we love, by the way. My God, we love the guys.
All those guys.
Well, we saw the video of that. Like, what was your reaction?
Listen, I had heard some of this prior to the Game 7, that Florida players weren't, like, loving the love fest
for Edmonton.
Yeah. And the games in Edmonton, putting them on the big screen and stuff like that.
And it's hilarious.
It's fucking hilarious. So I know that they were kind of upset by it. I didn't expect them to, like.
Was that a bit, or were they?
No,
fucking, that was Sean Thornton. I looked at Sean's fucking eyes, and I'm like, he goes, "Get the fuck out of here."
I looked into it.
I know.
Asked a few people.
Okay.
That was not a bit whatsoever, and I knew it wasn't a bit right off the bat because I knew that they were pissed off.
Yeah.
And they weren't happy with them kind of celebrating.
Would you be mad about that?
And openly rooting for Edmonton. Listen, if I was in a playoff series and there are people I know who are 1,000% openly rooting for the opposing team that I'm going head to head against, and I see them celebrating that team over and over. I probably would not want to celebrate with them after I win, right? And that's not a chirp at all, man. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, no. And he's got to do his thing.
Would you?
No.
Doesn't mean he's a bad guy or anything like that.
No, dude. He's got to do his thing. That's his job to do that,
They're
too.
They're doing their thing.
Everybody's doing their job.
Well, you know what? You're openly rooting for Edmonton. Probably aren't going to be invited to Florida's post-game party.
Probably not. Although I think he was.
And they probably know that, too.
Yeah. Although I think he's still got a locker room and whatever, but
yeah. Well, Barkov, and I heard he was nice and stuff like that, but Barkov doesn't pay attention to any social media. He's not seeing any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But Tkachuk is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of these other guys.
But the hockey season's over. That long, long season, it's over.
What do you think?
Of what?
Of them, basically, dismissing.
If I'm Sean Thornton, you put so much time and blood and sweat into building this team. Everybody does something different, which Sean Thornton, building his side of things and whatnot, and Zito, whatever. So you're paying attention, and you do see a guy that's just, so loud about the opposing team.
Mm-hmm.
That would, I think I would be kind of I don't know, maybe I'd be in such a euphoric high. I'd be like, fucking who cares? I love you.
Yeah.
But something
fuck yeah, we beat your team.
Yeah, might as well just be like, fuck, here, man, how's this look? Maybe chirp him back, but I understand it. It's just funny. Ain't that big of a fucking deal.
So, Cam, listen, I just got back from British Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've seen homeless people before. I have never experienced what I just saw in British Columbia.
That bad, huh?
It's not just the number of homeless people, because there's a lot of homeless people.
Yeah.
But just openly, out in the open, not hiding it whatsoever, smoking crack.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting up crystal meth or whatever through a tube or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
And apparently, the politicians there, they treat the homeless people or the drug abusers as if it's more of a mental health issue versus a drug addiction issue. And so I think the police were informed to not arrest these.
No, they don't.
Drug users. And dude, so everyone, my kids, we're just walking over people on the sidewalk who are just completely passed out on the sidewalk and just shooting up right in front of anybody who's there, not hiding it at all. I've never seen anything like it.
And he's walking in sandals. He's walking in sandals, and he's walking over homeless people with syringes everywhere. You dip your fucking toe in one of those fentanyl goddamn needles.
Dude.
No, I'm dead serious. You got to watch that shit. It's so bizarre. The mental health thing is a tricky situation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a story about a year ago, a family in California, wealthy guy in a Tesla with his wife and his 3 kids are cruising on Cliffside Highway, and he fucking floors it and flies off a 200-foot cliff with this Tesla, and they all survive. And now he's getting out of jail because they're calling it a mental health issue. And even the mother, the mother...
Who survived? He was in the...
They all survived.
Who was in the car?
The fucking family.
So he was trying to kill his family?
Yes. He sped off the road on
they
purpose.
Put him in jail for attempted murder.
Yes. And now he's pleading mental health crisis. And even the wife's like, we need him back. And she's pleading, and he's going to get out of jail. Could you imagine that?
So
How does that work?
What do you mean they all survived?
They survived.
What kind of injuries?
I don't know, but look at the car. It's
Where
crazy.
was this?
In California. I think it was on the...
And how far was the drop-off?
200 feet.
And the Tesla, was it damaged?
Yeah. No, it's not damaged. Of course it was damaged. They all got lucky, dude. And now he's going to probably get out of jail. So the mental health thing is tricky because anybody who does something crazy like that and has those crazy thoughts, they're all have mental health problems.
The police are out there. They don't even...
They all have mental health problems.
It.
All those guys, Adam Lanza, who shot up fucking Newtown, the dude that dressed as Joker and shot up the theater.
Yeah.
They all have mental health problems. So where's the limit? How do you define what's different?
Define what's criminal versus what's mental health?
He's got more mental health, so he's not going to go to jail. We're going to put him in this. And it's for the family to be like, we want him back. We need him as a father. Do you? He tried to kill you. Was he taking pills? How does he get over that? I don't get it. Okay, he's on pills now. Okay, well, we just went on vacation. He forgot the pills. Is he going to try to open the emergency exit on the plane? And
right.
It's so weird, man. So it's tricky. The mental health thing is tricky. It truly is.
dude.
You know what I mean?
Like, but if it means that you have people like visiting who are on vacation, or anyone who's just trying to walk around and go have lunch or whatever, and you're just walking, you got kids, dude.
That's what I mean,
and
dude.
you're walking past people that are just openly shooting up right in front of you.
Young people too, you know.
But I will say this, like, it's different than the homeless people here in the States. Like, they're not asking you for money. They completely they completely leave you alone. They don't even like say anything to you.
Because I think they're supported.
You know what I mean there?
Yes, dude. When I was in Seattle,
they're not like harassing you. There's none of that.
I need that. They're not sitting at the highway where we're the intersections. Like
they're
I'm
just
homeless.
shooting up. And I think somebody told me that they can actually get the drugs from the government.
Yeah, and provide needles.
They give them a certain amount.
I think
they provide the needles and everything.
I think so, and in San Francisco and whatnot too.
I don't know about that.
I think so, and I think they pay some people in San Francisco to live on certain areas homeless. It's just,
dude,
it's
everywhere.
Fucked up. It is, man. It's not good. Like, if you think that's helping the problem, you're out of your goddamn mind. There's got to be a better solution. You got little Ty and little Ivy and Chloe walking over homeless guys with fucking fentanyl needles right there when you got sandals on. Think about how crazy that is.
Stop making this about me. You're bringing it back down on me and my sandals.
Dude, but that's what happens, man.
Well, I didn't step on it.
Dude, I remember walking, I stepped right by a needle. And I'm like, if I had my sandals on, that thing poked you a little bit. That a little bit of fentanyl would kill you, dude. It would kill you.
Really?
Yes, dude. A little bit of
just
fentanyl.
From stepping on the needle.
Yeah, and poking you a little bit.
So, like, they don't even know where they are, dude. They'll be like hunched over, standing in the middle of the road, like.
No, I know, hunched over like this. That's called.
So what happens?
That's a different. So they got fentanyl, and they have this other little booster that they shoot up. I forgot what it's called. That's what makes you go. Man, really? I'm telling you, I told you this.
And how long does that last?
About 4 hours. Fentanyl is the most hardcore thing ever. It doesn't last as long as heroin, but it gets you harder than heroin. Meaning when you come down off
heroin
it,
out there
when it's cheap. Fentanyl's cheaper. When they do fentanyl, like it doesn't. It rocks you hardcore. It grabs you hardcore, but it doesn't last as long. Heroin will last 10 to 12 hours. Fentanyl lasts 4 hours. So you have to have it again and again and again and again. And you don't know what kind of dosage you're putting in your body, man. Dude, they say this I see these little documentaries, man, on YouTube and whatnot. And like you'll have a guy roll up, this lawyer who's just kind of wants a party. He dabbles a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe some coke that's messed with it or whatever. Either they die or they get addicted like this. 2 months ago, this guy's making $2 million a year. He's got his place. He's got a beautiful girlfriend. Now he's fucking hunched over on the sidewalk in a matter of months because of this stuff, dude. It's crazy. Crazy. That sucks.
What do you think they should do about it?
I don't know.
Think they should,
I don't get paid. I don't get paid to
you
make.
Think they should arrest him?
I think they need to make a facility for these people to be in.
Just hang out and
yes, like something. Do something. All this money. I mean, all this wasted money that we fucking throw around everywhere to the, military-industrial complex gets. I mean, Jesus Christ, to Ukraine money, to Israel, to this, to all that stuff. Like, we can't clean that up. You got children walking over fucking needles everywhere, where cops are over there trying to like protect the Walgreens, and these people are just crashed out right here. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Vancouver was cool though, man. We had a great time up there. Whistler was beautiful.
Looked cold.
I love the cold.
Me too.
But it wasn't cold. It was cool.
Wintry.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Looked like it was winter.
A lot of snow up there on top of the mountain.
Late June.
I went to areas of the mountain that a lot of people just don't
waste people's time because you're with your family. Like
we were doing some
Andy acts like he's in the Amazon jungle on a recruit. No, you're with your family in Vancouver.
We went to
it was cool, but it's not that cool.
The Peak to Peak gondola, which basically takes you from one mountain peak.
I know.
To the next.
I know what that means.
It's called the Peak.
I know.
Peak.
I know.
In case you're not following me.
Sometimes you get jammed up on those.
If you look down, dude, there's nothing.
I know.
It's like you're hanging over the Grand Canyon.
Oh, I have my vertigo. Oh, yeah.
Dude, it was not. I'm not really built for that, but
it's scary. The wind blows.
Oh, you're
Remember
shaking.
back in the day, there's pictures of ski slopes back in like the 70s. And there's like a mother on there like this, and their 2 kids. There's nothing.
I know.
They're just sitting on this thing, and they're like 200 feet up a fucking mountain.
Do you know the first time?
Like just crazy.
That's how I got my fear of heights, which now I have fear of heights. It's starting to go away. Oh, God, I'm getting better at it.
I got it bad.
Would you walk across like a suspension bridge? Did you see that picture I put up of that bridge? Yeah. And it's like shaking back and forth. Dude.
Doggy, that'll rock me, man. Dude, I get weirded out by it.
Do that one. I did the bridge, which was just as high and just as long, but it was sturdy. It wasn't
Even
shaking.
Driving. You said you drove from Vancouver to Seattle.
Through the bridges.
You're like this, going down, and it's a little snowy, and there's big semi trucks passing you. Like
that Lionsgate Bridge, that was beautiful.
That fucks me up a little bit. But I went on a TV show, if you guys know, called Bar Rescue with John Taffer. I did that last night, actually. That's why Andy and I were both tired as hell. But me and Reed Lowe went out to the middle of Illinois in this shitty little bar, and we met up with John Taffer, and we went in there, and we're all mic'd up and stuff like that. He's like, you got to come in. We're going to sit at this table. We're going to evaluate everything. Look around, critique everything, and, tell me what's on your mind. You guys been to a bunch of bars? So we're like, okay, yeah. We sit there. We order all this food. We do all this stuff. There's like, the menu looks shitty. There's stuff on the wall. We're like, what is going on here? And then we see, we're like, okay, we order all this stuff, and they all went to this weird refrigeration system where you have to walk across the people. You open it up, and you get your beer, then you get your food, and you got to walk all the way across. So the setup's so goofy. So we're like, why do they have that there? And John's like, let me go take a look at that. He walks down, opens up this huge fridge, which has everything. Your food, your beer, your blah, 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 blah. There's black mold everywhere. Walking, it's there, it's on the ground, it's touching beer bottles, it's touching food, it's doing this. He walks out there and goes, shut it down! Everybody, don't touch the food. Don't. I know he does this a lot, but this is legit, man. I saw the black mold. We all went in there. You'll see, like when the episode comes out, it's everywhere. They even knew that John and everybody's coming in
sick, eating there.
Probably, but you guys don't realize how much that exists in a lot of restaurants. A lot of these restaurants you go into, you think are squeaky clean, they ain't. But this one was really, really bad. He shut it down, kicked everybody out, man. It was pretty hardcore.
When's that gonna air?
Don't know. Probably this month.
Were you like mic'd up and talking and stuff?
Yeah.
Benner said he wanted to go. They asked him to go, and then all of a sudden he never heard back from
I know. They asked Benner to go, and then I went. I don't understand that. But it was pretty cool, man. It's a really, really good show. Yeah. But it just shows you, like, owning a bar is very, very difficult, dude. There's so much that goes into it. They say, like, if you pour a little bit more vodka in each shot or each drink, that can cost you, add up to $8,000 fucking dollars a month. Yes, just by having a bartender.
No wonder they like measure it out.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't, Andy. And you have that bartender. Bartender's awesome. Why? Because he hooks you up. Every time he hooks you up, that is money down the drain. Yeah. Or the bartender's like, I got one for me too. Boom. If I owned a bar, I would never have my bartenders drink any of it.
No.
Dude, I watched some of these episodes, and they're like, if you really add up all this booze that a little bit more, it adds up to thousands and thousands of dollars. You might be you're in the red, and all of a sudden you could be in a black just by pouring the right amount. Damn. There's so much to it, man.
All right, listen, we got to let's get to the interview because we go long with Jordan Binnington. We'll pick things up next week. Sorry, we're a few days late.
Sorry about that.
By the way, travel schedules, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Yep.
We love all y'all, man.
That. We'll be back on normal schedule coming up next week. So
cool.
Jordan Binnington, man, coming in live in studio, which we wanted to do with him for quite some time. Finally got him in here. Brought to you by Bench Clearers. Hey, use our promo code, by the way, Cam and Strick, 20% off.
20% off right here.
Dude, this is perfect for the summertime. I'll tell you that right now. And they've got hoodies and stuff like that if you want to get some hoodies that you can still wear during the winter. But they have everything, Cam. USA, all the international teams. Fully licensed by the NHL and the American Hockey League, too. So if you like your favorite AHL team, if you're listening, you're in an AHL city, hook yourself up with one of these tank tops.
Or you don't have to like the AHL team, but if they got a cool logo, which a lot of them do, get it. And now people are going to be like, what is that? I like to be different.
What's the promo code?
Cam and Strick.
Yeah.
Of course it is. And I'm going to get that USA one, 20%. Yeah. I'm going to get that USA one, baby, because the 4th of July is coming up. And I'm going to be planting those American flags everywhere. I'm going to be wearing my USA jersey everywhere I go, doing my thing and celebrating the 4th of July.
Get your Canada one for Canada Day, too.
Yeah, I'd wear a Canada one, too. I'll support Canada. They treated me great up there. I live
Chuck
up there.
Probably won't talk to you after you wore your Edmonton Oilers one.
Well, weren't we doing that as a...
Well, no, you wore an
You would tell him. You would tell him. Cam and RA are like this.
Cam wore his Edmonton Oiler one. I don't know. I had the Florida one.
You're mad at RA. You should see what Cam was saying about... come on. You know, I just want to entertain me. And so... Anyway, check these out.
That was the Stanley Cup Final. That's why you had that on.
Of course. I think everybody knows that.
Well, you never know.
But although you would twist at the wall,
I had to let them know that you were.
You would do that, you know. So, it's all good. Yeah, we're sorry about so late, but Shit happens, man. But we're going to be rocking and rolling all summer long. All summer. We'll have great guests. We got a lot of guys coming in town in St. Louis that we're going to get on live, which we like to do.
Yeah.
I think the live shows are better, obviously.
I used to say Paul Stastny is the greatest player to ever come out of St. Louis. I think Matthew Tkachuk maybe surpassed him now by winning the Cup.
Yeah.
And he's got the resume now. I said that a couple years ago now, but now if you redo it every few years, because Ben Bishop is up there as well. You got Patty Maroon, obviously, with his individual or team accomplishments.
Of course. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Brady Tkachuk being the highest drafted player in the history of St. Louis hockey. But I would say Matthew Tkachuk.
Brady is?
Highest drafted player.
Okay.
Ever.
He was higher than Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew went 6th.
Okay. Yeah, they had the little thing.
Yeah,
okay,
but he is now the officially.
Clayton Keller's got some points too, baby.
Keller's up there too.
You got some competition.
Top 5.
Is any other young you're coaching, you're in a mix. Any other big kid coming out of St. Louis?
We got a kid right now playing for the U.S. program who's there, who may be a first-round pick next year, Shane Van Sagi. I'll give Shane
Give him a little shout out, baby. What's up?
Shane?
Let's go. What's up? St. Louis.
So if he has a good year, he could play his way into being a first-round pick.
Just asking. Just curious.
No, it's a good question.
I want to know. We want to pump their tires up, man.
Yeah.
So,
but we don't have any Matthew Tkachuks coming out right now, or Clayton Keller. Clayton Keller may be the best youth hockey player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And other people would say the same thing.
You know what? There's a couple guys that didn't make the NHL.
They weren't Clayton Keller.
That were unbelievable.
I'm sure they were.
But it didn't matter. I mean, like, okay.
I tried to, this past weekend, being in Vancouver, I mean, there were some really good players.
I bet.
And I try to envision, where's this kid going to be?
You don't know.
In 3-4 years. Some kids don't skate very well.
Some kids don't grow.
Skill. Some kids skate really fast, but don't have a lot of individual skill. Some skate real fast, don't have great hockey sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to to know how things are going to evolve.
They're not all like Andy. You know, when he was growing up, he had a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Chaser said he was the most skilled guy ever to come on.
Chaser did say that. Then he said it on the radio.
That's so. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
He said it twice.
No. We asked him. No.
He denies it now, but back in the day, he said it.
Back in what day?
Like late 90s, early 2000s, when he was just retiring. I swear to God, he said it.
That's so funny.
I know. He said it twice.
It's so funny. He'll admit that.
He won't. He would never admit it.
Even if he did.
Chaser wore a full suit to Steiner's press conference.
Did he?
Oh yeah.
Was he asking questions?
He's on the staff.
Alexander. Get it right. He is Alexander now.
Now
he could be called Alexander the Great if they start really dominating under his realm. Alexander the Great. Be kind of cool. He's got some work to do. They all got work to do, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on this summer already.
You gonna rock this Blues one?
You dang right, baby.
Okay, Bench Clears. Check it out.
Let's go.
Benchclears.com. Check out all their social too. They got a lot of good shit going on.
Yeah.
Firstform or firstform.com, Cam. Firstform.com/Cam and Streak. Use our link, only our link.
Yeah.
Freeman screaming. Screaming
freedom, baby.
Freedom.
Damn right. That is good
Even
stuff.
if you're not into working out and stuff, man, just get that micro factor.
Just little
get
things.
Healthy.
If you don't want a full meal, but you want to get some protein and just settle your stomach, crush these bad boys right here. The barbecue flavor is really, really good.
Hell yeah.
Dang good. Andy doesn't like it. Are these vegan? No.
I like those ones. Stop saying that because you got people who I was with from Boston who listen to the podcast now, and they're like, "What'd you have for lunch? What'd you eat? What'd you eat?" Because they want to see.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Because they listen to you.
Here, try.
They'd be like, "What would Cam think about?"
Try it. Try it.
I will have a look.
Okay.
Wait till the post game.
Wait till the cameras on.
Yeah. We'll do it in post game.
It's all good. All good, baby. But
not anti. I'll eat the hell out of that thing. 20 grams.
Big time.
20 grams of protein.
He's a T-Rex. Makes you horny, just so you know. Does.
I was at a rink, by the way. I'll give a shout out to the North Shore Winter Club.
Okay.
All these kids have come through there. Brett Hall played there. His name's on the wall.
Okay.
Paul Correa.
Okay.
Macklin Celebrini.
Okay.
Connor Bedard.
Okay.
I just go on and on and on.
Okay.
A lot of people come from Vancouver. Did you know that?
Yeah.
A lot of hockey.
A lot of people.
A lot of hockey
players come from Canada. No, no idea.
No, a lot of hockey players come from Vancouver.
Yeah, that's Canada.
Out west.
It's Canada.
Vancouver is a big ass city, though, man. There's a lot going on. It takes a long time to get from point A to point B.
No highway system in that mug, dude.
Well, they have some highways, but you have to get.
But in the middle of the city, you just stoplight, boom,
stop.
People everywhere.
People shooting up everywhere.
I don't like that, dude. That sucks, dude. Was Tai like, was little Ivy like, what,
all the
Daddy?
kids were like, they were like, they had to like tell the kids they were like eating lollipops or something like that. No, that's what you had to tell them.
Ty's like, when he eat lollipops, he's shooting a needle in his arm. You think he's stupid? You know, like Ty's like, that's a lollipop?
I don't know.
What's he, 2 years old? Come on.
Dude. You shouldn't allow that, Vancouver. All you politicians.
No shit. How horrible is that?
Clean up the streets, dude. There's kids watching. And kids walking around.
You're going to talk to the politicians?
Talk to Trudeau.
They give a fuck.
But you shouldn't allow that on your streets.
Politicians make $120,000 a year, and they're worth $50 million.
And all y'all,
how is that possible? How?
All you listeners out in Vancouver and Seattle who message me, I appreciate all the suggestions. People telling me where to go eat, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
some damn good sushi out there, baby.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Damn good sushi.
I didn't have sushi.
I love sushi so much.
Everything's very expensive, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything you do.
Everything.
Everything you do is expensive there. You know? It's not, look, I love it out there. I love the mountains. I'm a Midwest guy, man.
Yeah, I know.
I just love being in the Midwest.
I just like being out in the wilderness.
I don't know. I appreciate that from you. Like I do. I chirp you a lot for a lot of things, but you do take your family to cool stuff. Yeah. You guys walk, you take hikes, you do all that stuff. My mom and dad did the same thing with me, man. It's good to do that, dude. You know? It always seems like you have a good time.
Very dangerous situation.
Don't overdo it, though. You know?
No.
It wasn't
very dangerous.
It wasn't that cool.
You see the bear I sent you?
Yeah, the fake one.
I sent you a real one.
Yeah, in a cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, at a zoo. You were
cage.
Andy was probably like, let me get a picture of this bear.
Wasn't in a cage.
No, it was in a zoo thing. It was
up at the Grouse Mountain.
But Andy, I bet, was like, how can I take a picture of this bear and then post it and say, look what I'm dealing with. I saved the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
22-year-old bear.
Was a bear? I mean,
they live very long. I didn't know they lived that long.
22's not.
You see that bear chasing that German Shepherd on the driveway? Can a dog outrun a bear, a black bear? I think it can.
No,
I think it can.
A grizzly bear can outrun.
Grizzly's different.
A bear can outrun a horse at times.
Get out of here.
And you know what a bear can do? It'll run so fucking fast, you have nowhere to go. What are you gonna do? You can jump in the water.
Shoot it.
With what? Your cock? You don't got no gun, Andy. What are you gonna do with a bear attacks you? Nothing. Oh, you're going to climb a tree? Watch one of those fucking grizzlies climb a tree.
I've seen it.
In 2 seconds. They'll go from there to there in 2 seconds. They're the most fucking apex athlete, crazy predators ever right now. They're on planet Earth. And people even in Australia are like, the scariest part is up in Montana, man. Those grizzly bears are horrifying.
We went to the Seattle market too. You know, throwing the fish around. Yeah. That's a cool.
That's a tourist spot.
Andy,
it's a tourist spot.
Yeah, no,
you're reaching again.
This so happened they were doing it when I was there.
I know they do it all the time. It's all good. Damn good food in Seattle.
Oh yeah, great food.
Damn good food.
The Illinois Recovery Center.
Yeah, we'll be there tomorrow.
Some people in Vancouver may
see. That's another thing. It's like, you know,
need some.
They set up a government-funded facility. I don't know the answer. I'm not a politician. I'm not in charge of that. But there's a better option than that. That's what I do know. When your kids have to step over that, that pisses me off, man. It does.
So, yeah, check them out. IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. Call Chrissy and Eric. They listen. We'll hook you up. There's a bed waiting for you.
There's a bed waiting for Swansea, Illinois.
Yes. Hat Launch, man. These are our people at Hat Launch. Hat Launch at HatLaunch.com. They made this beautiful shirt right here.
Dang right.
Yes, they did. Yoink.
Yoink, baby.
So check that out. Get yourself a new hat. Every hat tells a story. You know, they're America's #1 source for customized hats, Cam.
Yeah, they're the big
you
dogs.
put anything you want on it.
That's why big companies use them.
Could be your business.
Yeah, baby.
Could be your neighborhood.
Anything you want. Could be your softball team.
Yes.
Could be a youth hockey team, baseball team. Doesn't matter. They got all kinds of different options, man. You can call them up, and they'll make whatever for you, and they do a damn good job. Yes. That's why First Form uses them. That's why they're everywhere, and that's why they're blowing up the way they are.
Yeah, say hi to Danny.
Danny, what up, man?
Jordan.
Happy 4th of July, Jordan. Yeah, let's go, baby. It's coming up.
I got a USA hoodie from Bench Clearers that I'll be wearing for 4th of July. You don't have anything, I don't think, 4th of July or America, USA, do you?
Dude, I'm American through and through.
No,
why are you getting that and not me? See, that's what I wanted.
To me. And Ty got one, too.
That's fine if Ty gets it. But you.
They're out of the... I don't know.
You need a Ukraine one. Get a Ukraine one.
I don't know if that's on the... I don't know if that's available right now.
God, I do see some of these videos, man, on For You on Twitter. Like, oh, God, sometimes I can't help myself.
Get the Yoink shirt.
Those drones that are following these soldiers around. Oh, those suicide drones.
Get yourself a new hat from
Scary.
HatLaunch.com.
HatLaunch.com. Check it out.
I'm looking to clean the streets of British Columbia.
You should.
I'm on a mission.
Good luck with that, dude.
How do I clean the streets?
You gotta have a facility.
You think it's like that in the winter too?
Yeah, I do.
They get a lot of snow out there or no?
Seattle?
No, Vancouver.
In the mountains.
I didn't see it in Seattle.
In the mountains.
I didn't see people shooting up in Seattle.
Oh God, I did. Big time.
You did?
Hell yeah.
Out in they probably get arrested there.
No, they don't.
Not in Seattle.
No, man. I told you that a million times. Do you listen when I talk?
It's a different country. You know that?
Yeah, I do.
You said San Francisco.
Yeah, both. Seattle and San Francisco.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Okay.
Well, my fact checkers will be all over you on this.
You're wrong on everything.
You'll be wrong on this.
On what? They doing heroin in Seattle? Are you out of your damn mind?
They get arrested.
I saw that fucking firsthand. I came on this podcast when I got back from that road trip, and I talked about it for an hour.
They get arrested.
And now you're questioning it?
Yeah.
You want to bet?
Hatlaunch.com.
Hat launch.
Cam at Bellman, you get no what?
Swinging dicks, man. None. Zero. Zilch.
You get sushi and flavored water, though. They will give you that.
Zilch.
They get the best selection of everything.
You got everything. Even those Buicks. Don't chirp the Buick.
No, don't.
No. Check that mug out. It drives like a Cadillac, and they're a lot cheaper, too.
GMC, too.
GMC, oh, God. You want to get that badass Denali, that four-door? Let's go. You want to go to Grand Tetons? Hell, yeah. Take that bad boy
Chrysler,
up there.
Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
I like those big Dodge, too. I've been driving Jeeps.
Dude, I had a Chrysler Pacifica that I rented all week long.
Not bad.
That minivan, dude, it was amazing.
Minivans aren't bad.
Especially in that tight little parking garages you have to go to, and they just slide right open, so you couldn't open the door.
I was in a minivan for the first time in a long time, and that was the first time I was in the back seat.
Nice,
in the back seat of a minivan. I got an Uber from my house all the way to Illinois, Kate and I, for the bar rescue. So they picked it up. So the guy picks us up. He's literally driving 120 miles an hour.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm yelling at him to slow the fuck down.
You are?
And he's not doing it.
Oh my God. Do you know in Canada,
he's not doing it. And I have to go get on TV and perform. And I'm already fucking tired. I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
And this guy's going, I got car sick. And I was like queasy when I got there, like, I wanted to kill this guy. He wouldn't slow down. All those windy roads out by me, man, he was going 120 miles an hour. Kate and I were looking at each other like, oh my God, you should have drove. Like that sucked.
Mm-hmm.
That like kind of ruined my night a little bit.
Yeah.
I was sick all fucking night because of that. 120 miles an hour. Like he was flying. I'm like, slow down, man.
Yeah.
He didn't speak English.
Do you know in Canada, Cam, I don't know if you know this, but they have they're on kilometers. Mm-hmm. So my wife would be yelling at me, you're going 120. I'm like, no, I'm actually going 70. Because
is she a backseat driver?
All the time.
Slow down, you're God.
Watch the car in front of you.
No, settle down.
Yeah.
I'm driving.
Yeah, I know.
You need to put your foot down.
That kind of like the whole kilometer thing just threw me off as well. Why can't we all be on the same system?
We're not. The Americans, the U.S. is the one that's different.
I'm here across the border. The border girl was very, very nice. Couldn't believe going into Canada.
Yeah. When you came back, it was tough.
He was fine. No wait, though.
Okay, that's cool.
It just a little more serious.
It just depends.
Yeah.
You guys don't look very threatening.
Well, you never
come on.
Can't judge a book by
They're looking at you like, yeah, you can go.
Can't judge a book by. I know a guy who's a police chief here, or in another state, and he crossed the border into Canada, and he had his gun, and they threw him into jail.
Yeah, no, you can't bring
hardcore jail of Canada. No, most hardcore jail.
See, this is where your stories get out of hand.
No,
now there is a guy that went down to one of those. I think it's either somewhere near the Bahamas or Exuma or whatever. I'm trying to think exactly where, Barbados or something. And he's a hunter. Mm-hmm. And him and his wife went down there with their kids. And he grabbed one of his bags, didn't clean it out fully. And he had just a couple bullets in there, just like a little. And I think he's still jammed up. He's ex-military.
Yeah, I know.
He's military. See? And so, no, they're gonna keep you down there. And so.
It's hardcore jail.
He's 18. Oh, there? Yeah, goddamn right. Big time.
In Canada.
Those little jail's hardcore everywhere. Mm-hmm. Besides maybe somewhere in Sweden and whatnot. I think they're a little bit easier over there.
Mexico's terrible.
Oh, it's not the worst.
What is?
I would say, well, North Korea for one. Boom.
Okay.
Anywhere in like Southeast Asia,
oh my,
you are jammed up. You want to yeah, dude. You want to go get fucking caught with drugs in Taiwan or the Philippines?
Don't ever do that.
You're gonna get it. Yeah. Or you go down to South America.
Apparently, you just go to British Columbia.
You go to Honduras.
You do whatever you want.
You go to Venezuela, and you go on one of those prisons
on the streets in BC.
Are you kidding?
They just look the other way. They're like, it's okay, kids.
I'm telling you, man.
What's their slogan for kids at the schools in Canada?
Oh, Jesus.
DC.
Oh, I don't know, man. Don't be that guy.
Don't be all of them.
Don't be all of them. Well, teacher, I get this anywhere I want. It's everywhere.
They give
it's
it
everywhere.
to you.
It's cheap too.
They give it to you.
They give it. I can get it easily.
Say hi to Danny, boy.
Danny, what up, man? How you doing?
Dale.
Get back to work, Dale.
Kenny,
what's up, baby? Let's go.
Jordan Binnington, baby, on this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast.
Love you guys.
Bench clears 20% off.
Let's go. Cam and Strick.
The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/camandstrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/camandstrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview. Binner, what's up?
What up, man?
Fellas,
Welcome into the studio.
thank you for having me.
What's your hat mean?
It's Butter Golf. It's my boy's company, Jay Swish. It's kind of a golf brand. He's got some humor with it, so
Yeah. I mean, I noticed it. It's upside down. I'm like, that's different.
yeah.
I noticed it. That's good branding.
No,
Yeah,
I was
there's-
trying to come up with what it said exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
It
it.
took me 3 or 4 guesses, but no, I like that hat. I've seen somebody else wear that hat too.
It's possible. There's a lot of upside down hats nowadays, but I feel like he was at the forefront of doing that. I think on the early wave, but now they're around.
Is that like an apparel company too, or just a hat company?
It's an apparel company. It's growing. He says he's got a big drop coming soon. So
Wow.
yeah,
Are you a big golf guy?
I'm kind of getting into it. It's going to be slowing down now, I think, with baby on the way. But last summer was my first summer all in. I joined a club back home, and still didn't golf that much. But the game got better, and I see the bug that people get. I actually saw you on the golf course.
Yeah, I yelled at you like a Hoosier.
I wasn't sure.
No, I know. I should have said, hey, it's Cam, but I didn't. So I'm like, fuck, I just.
Yeah.
They're going to tell the clubhouse that there's a Hoosier chirping the blues out here.
You shouldn't be doing that.
I didn't mean to.
We clued in.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
He figured it out.
He's a terrible golfer, by the way.
Most
Hockey players are really good golfers.
I'm not sure about how your rotation would be.
It's embarrassing, and people think that I'm good. And
Yeah.
we get auctioned off to play in these big tournaments, and they pay you
Yeah.
to play with these guys.
Yeah.
And they're like, Cam's gonna crush it. Oh, I bet you Cam could crush it. No, I can't. I fucking slice it. I'll duff it. I drink a lot too, so that kind of hinders a lot of things. But I just haven't. It hasn't clicked. He sucks too, by the way. And I'll show you a video when we're done.
I'm allowed to suck.
I'll show you a video when we're done. No, he is allowed to suck. I'm not. So it's more embarrassing for me.
Okay.
He's right.
You guys are really selling yourself as
I
it's
just
not
like to
good.
have a good
Sponsor
time on the
golfers.
course. I like to sit. I like the tunes going. I like to have a cigar
yeah.
and take shots when I want to take shots. If I want to take a hole off, I take a hole off.
Yeah.
That's why I like those
It's
scrambles, you know, where you.
oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Because if you don't play scramble, he'll be like, "Where's my ball? What's going on here?" Like, let's go. Pace of play.
we're waiting on you.
Waiting on you.
Yeah.
That
I feel
drives me
like
nuts.
golf's chilled out a little bit over the years too. Like, now you can play music pretty much
shoes,
everywhere. Certain courses you can take your shoes off, maybe
T-shirt.
untuck your golf, like relax.
I know.
Why is it so proper all the time? But there's a respect level.
But some people want that.
There's a respect level.
You pay a lot
Yeah.
for the membership. Like they don't want people coming in like this.
Yeah.
They don't. Like they'll be pissed about that. The shirt tucks thing,
You
like,
were telling me to tuck my shirt in last time we played.
because
golf.
don't be a Hoosier. Now you're embarrassing me and the brand.
Depends where you are.
Yeah.
But then you go to one of those, discovery property places, and it's just a free
No, they
for
don't
all.
care at those.
Or Jordan's. down in
Nothing.
Florida.
Yeah, like sometimes the higher you go, the less
Really?
Yes,
rules.
Andy, dude.
Because I'll see Gretzky,
No shirt.
like, no shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the golf course. Are you? Has Chaser tried to sell you a place? over in the Discovery property?
I've heard his outlooks on it, and he's actually been very nice to talk to about it, and gave me some good insight. But nothing as of yet in place.
Where's your favorite part of the North America? Where's your most beautiful part
Of
where
the North
you
America?
could feel good? You can just relax a little bit. The beauty. You're in
Yeah.
your Zen mode. Where's that?
I'll be honest, I love Midwest people. I really do. It's such easy living here in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm from Toronto originally, so it's a bigger city and busier and different. I like water. I just went out and did a road trip with my sister. She has a place in Taos, New Mexico. And it was like nothing I've ever seen before. It's kind of feel like you're on Mars, but also I don't know what the other
in the mountains,
yeah,
higher elevation.
It's deserty,
Yeah.
but then there's hikes, great hiking spots, lakes, and then unreal skiing apparently. So there's a lot of options in the States. It's kind of tough to narrow it down. What kind of guy are you? Are Florida man or what's?
No, I mean, I'm
not
come
across like a Florida guy.
Do I look like
no.
I look like the middle of Florida Hoosier, don't I?
Tan mine.
That's where the biggest Hoosiers are, in the middle.
What's
of
a
Florida.
Hoosier?
Oh,
Explain it.
Like a hillbilly, like boy, like hey, like their dogs are running out, and you're like, if you have a Hoosier neighbor, they fucking have their 5 cars in their driveway that they don't drive. Dogs are running everywhere, toys everywhere.
The cars, yeah.
Wants no shirt on, like just a Hoosier, like a hillbilly. You know what I mean? Like Cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
On Christmas vacation,
Mm-hmm.
they'll ruin you if you live by them.
Is it a Hoosier or who's your?
It's Hoosier. It's
fast. Hoosier.
You say it in Missouri, we call them Hoosiers. You can call them hillbillies or whatnot.
Okay.
But that's why I grew up way out there, so I kind of know a little bit about it. Actually, a lot about it. But again, in Florida, though, in the middle of Florida, it's crazy. But I'm not an ocean guy per se. I'm a lake guy.
Yeah.
I can navigate a lake. I can navigate rivers and stuff like that. The ocean scares me. Those sharks
There's
down there right
attacks
now.
left and right now. Are you seeing the shark attacks?
I'm not, but I don't know. We don't belong in there, so I respect the. But it would be cool to be a surfer. You know, I would like to be able to sit on my board with my legs hanging off and not be completely stressed.
Yeah, but it's a tough gig to get into. I think you really you could get into it, but if you're not an ocean guy, like you really got to learn a lot, man.
Yeah,
that thing will suck you right out, and you're jammed up.
Yeah,
the lakes will too, though, because like even like Lake Tahoe. You've been to Lake Tahoe?
No.
Oh, you'd love that.
It's awesome.
We need to get you in the Lake Tahoe Celebrity Golf Tournament.
Okay,
you're not in it. How are you gonna get
in there? we know we got people that should get you in there. Binners should be all over the place, man. Are you do you enjoy the off season? Do you get antsy during the off season, or is this like your kind of chill time where you can actually sit back, relax, not think about hockey all the time, and just kind of enjoy life?
I think it's always different for reasons of how your season goes, how late your season goes, how old you are. At this point in my life, it's very chill. It's very simple, and you know, I kind of like it like that. And living in St. Louis this summer for the first time, it's just, you know, I can go to Centene for a workout. I can go home for lunch and then go somewhere else and then come back. Like it's so smooth, and so I'm enjoying that aspect. But you know, it's harder when you don't make playoffs. It's so long, and this year is different for me with going to the World Championships because we ended May 26th, I think, May 27th, and so you know, I'm still not too far gone out of playing, and it's important to take that downtime. But I also have good energy, and I wasn't really waiting to get back at it and back in the gym and just, you know, playing some whatever it is athletic, adding some new things in, new games, new lessons. I added in some tennis lessons and a little boxing, and
you look like a tennis player. You could play some tennis.
You know what, I think I like that more than golf. Like it's it's fun.
It's a great workout.
I've had one lesson, so I'm going off one lesson, but I'm going back this week, and yeah, it's just a mindset too. I'm also reading the book Inner Game of Tennis at the same time, and it's kind of cool to do both at the same time.
Who wrote that? Like, who's that? Is that about a specific player or no?
No, it's about. Well, I mean, I think this guy, he was a tennis player heavily, and then he kind of got away from the game, turned into a teacher, and then started playing again a little bit. And I'm not done the book, but I don't know his name right now.
I didn't want to put you on the spot. It's like when LeBron says he's reading a book,
Malcolm X,
and then they say, "What's your favorite part of the book?" And he's like, "I don't know. I haven't started it."
Yeah,
remember they filmed him? He had the book upside down in the locker. I'm reading this.
He's like, "I'm reading it." He's like, "Oh, you got to turn the book around."
You boxing?
Yeah. Yeah. Just
good workout.
It's fun too, and that's another mind thing. You
go
remembering the combinations. It's just like
one,
he's
two,
like,
and then you don't
jab,
hurt
hook.
the guy. You hurt his wrist, or you miss, and you might hit him in the face.
Yeah. So there's just a couple times where we got to reset, but that's been fun, and I like just testing out the waters with different, you know, I guess sports and ways of training. And
it's mental, man. There's you got a lot of mental sports going on, like so maybe some martial arts. I could see you doing some of that.
Funny you bring that up. Jiu-jitsu. You know, I've always wanted to do a martial art. Jiu-jitsu might be a little intense right now. but maybe one day. But I actually, because I feel like I want to understand the martial arts, and there's got to be something to it, why so many people do it, and it's such a big part of culture.
Discipline, man.
So I started Tai Chi, and it's kind of humorous. It's kind of a comical story, but also like total respect for, the masters and the people doing it. So a couple weeks ago, I've been in town for 3 weeks now, and a couple weeks ago, I've been trying to find like a Tai Chi master who I can learn from, kind of like one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
I envision like he doesn't know what I'm about, and I just show up at 6 a.m. and then he's like, who is this guy? He doesn't like me at first, kind of, and build that story, kind of like one of those movies you've probably seen. But anyways, I couldn't find a one-on-one session, so I ended up signing up for a group class, and I went. I'm not gonna say where it is, but I end up going. It's on a Sunday morning it's Sunday morning, 9 a.m. ish, and I don't know what to expect. I've never done Tai Chi before, so I walk down in the place, and I'm walking by one of the doors. It's like in the classroom. It's like mirrors on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You could do yoga in there, Pilates or whatever, and I just see a group of people in there, and there's no what I think would be the headmaster or the master,
sensei,
sure, leading the class. So I'm not sure. So I kind of do a drive-by. I take a glance in there, and with all due respect, I'm saying this, like, the whole class is above 60.
Yeah.
So
they know who you are.
Didn't think so. Don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe now. But so I drive by and I'm like, oh man, like, I don't know if I could do this, but I'm a person who, I like putting myself in tough situations, one to learn from, one to just enjoy the moment and whatever. So I end up, I'm walking away. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And I'm like, you know what? I signed up for 4 classes. Like, you told yourself you're gonna do it. Turn around. I walk in. I'm in the class, and they're doing the warm up already. Like, I'm on the minute to get there on time. They're doing the warm up already. The headmaster comes around, or the master comes around the corner. So he was just hiding while he was letting someone else lead the class. So it's a man in his, late 50s, 60s. He's the best in the class. Like, when I can't see the teacher, I'm looking at him to follow the moves of what's going on. So they're leading the warm up, and it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen anything to do with Tai Chi, but it's like, you warm up, you have to hit all these points in your body
your chakras.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think those are your chakras, but just kind of like pressure point awaken the body.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in there, and it's like you're hitting your glutes two-handed. It's 16 times in a row behind your knees, and we're staring into a mirror. This guy's leading us. The whole class is just following along, and I'm just in there with 60-plus-year-olds just hiding in the back, enjoying the moment. But so it's kind of funny, but also, like, you can see the discipline and patience and flow. You can feel it in your body right away. So I'm gonna stay with it. I don't know where it's gonna go.
Stay with it. That's gonna take your mental game to the highest level.
Yeah,
not just to the
Are
next
you karate
level.
kicking dudes?
It's not like that.
It's not. There's no real contact that I've seen yet.
I see.
It's moving energy through your body, and a lot of control, and I think it's a lot
of Tai Chi and Taos, man, where you just were, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm not speaking that thoroughly on it. I don't know. I'm not very well cultured on it yet, but I'm willing to see where it goes.
You could be a master.
You're going to be doing Tai Chi during TV timeouts.
Hey, does that work
never
when
know.
you go like this, blah, 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 your glutes and stuff like that? Is it warming up?
I'll run you through it after.
Yeah.
And we can see.
Need that mug.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything to, like, warm your body up. Any new creation, like, might as well open the book to everything.
Yeah, I remember talking to you last year. I feel like it's a new Benner in a way. Like, you hit 30 years old, you're having a baby. Did you make a conscious decision to, like, turn the page, start a new chapter, just in terms of the evolution of Jordan Binnington, or is it just happening naturally?
I think it's naturally, and this just kind of experience, and throughout the years you get you have different interests, you have different motivations, and every year is different. Like I don't really have a way to explain it, but I feel certain ways, certain times, and I like exploring what I can.
We had a good year last year, man. You played well, dude.
Yeah.
Solid.
I felt good. It was a fun year. Like I said, every year is different, and like it's new challenges, and we got a good group. And we were kind of right there, and I feel like it was a very good year for young guys to get experience and see from the older guys and learn. It was tough. We had a coaching change. We had lots of down, little bit of up moments, and a lot of adversity. And then, our mid-20s guys have really, I feel like, it's time for them to take another step forward. And then us veterans, we got to keep leading and keep growing and keep leading the way. So, we're in a good spot. We'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. But 100% great group of guys. Leadership's great, and great place to play. So,
So listen, because you come into the NHL, you set the bar for yourself so high. Like, I mean, we may never see that. I mean, we probably will, I guess, at some point in time, right? Somebody kind of comes out of nowhere, even though you maybe felt like you didn't come out of nowhere, but to the large audience, to like Jordan Binnington all of a sudden taking the Blues to the Cup and winning. Do you feel like is that a burden to try to live up to that moving forward beyond your first season, or do you feel like you like that pressure and that standard you kind of set for yourself right away?
I mean, I wouldn't change it. It's all evolution and enjoying and just enjoying the experiences and learning along the way. And I think you never, know what's going to happen, but you can always put your best forward every day, every season. And just, like I don't feel pressure. It's just focusing on what I can control. It's the same old story, and having fun along the way, right?
Goaltending's tough to predict.
It is.
Like 1 year a guy is great, the next year they struggle, the next year they're great. People writing off Bobrovsky, even though he had won the Vezina a couple times, and now here at like 35, 36, whatever, he wins the Stanley Cup. So goaltending, man, like how much of it is mental, and the mental part of it during the course of the season? Are you in a good mood when you leave the rink? Can you ever relax as a goaltender during the season?
Yeah, I think it takes experience. It takes going through tough times, good times, and figuring out exactly what works for you. And you can chill out. You got to find a way to disconnect for sure, and distract yourself, because it's easy to get hard on yourself or be upset. And I take losses pretty hard, and it's tough. You don't sleep, stuff like that. But then you kind of manage it. You learn how to manage it. You get back to work, and it's all, I tell you, like, no matter what happens, it's all worth it when you get that feeling of, deserving or pride, and you're out there with your teammates, or you see the fans excited. Like it all pays off, weighs out.
Are you one of those guys? I mean, I play with so many different goalies. Like, some goalies just chill, talk to them beforehand. Right before they go out, you could talk to them, do whatever you want with. How are you? Are you superstitious? Do you have all your pads lined up? Are you like, don't talk to me, I need my thing here, I need this there? What do you like before games?
I think that, again, has changed over time too. Like you have your superstitions when you're younger, and then as you get older, like there's so many games, right? You can't do the same thing. You drive yourself crazy. So you learn that at some point, and I would say I'm pretty chill. When as it gets closer to game time, I think everyone is in their own little bubble, and you have guys who are speaking up and having fun. But at this point, I'd say I'm pretty chill, and I'm enjoying and finding the present moment and taking it in. What
do you say to yourself every time you skate to the corner after you get scored on, or during a TV time? Because I sit right there, and and you're always coming and skating to the glass. It's like a routine you have, right? What do you say to yourself at that moment, or is it just part of is that your way to turn the page and look towards the next play?
I would say depends on the goal. A lot of times, I think there's always a chance to make the save. So maybe a little swear word on the way to the corner, and but it's like, you got to reset. It's all about that next one. And yeah, I think it's just kind of move on from it. It's just a habit going to the corner. I've tried to change it in the past, but you just end up going there. It's just muscle memory,
Do you care what people think about you? Like, is that important to you?
No, I think that people who really know me know who I am, and that's all I'm.
Because Blues fans love you, man.
Oh yeah,
damn right. Everybody is.
Well, sometimes you see like a player like Brady, like they're losing all the time, and he's just losing his mind.
No shit,
he's fighting every game, and he's going crazy. And sometimes if a goalie like is emotional, people look at it different than maybe how they would view a player, But like losing for you, coming in and winning right away, and then when you guys were losing, do you take a lot of that on your shoulders? Like, is it just overwhelming for you to handle sometimes, just dealing with the emotions that come with losing?
I mean, I'd like to say and think that I'm always in control of what I see is going on and how I react, and I feel like I kind of dictate my own actions, and sometimes I definitely hate to lose, and if I feel like there needed to be some energy out there, or set the tone, or just let the league know that we're not going quietly, because this is unacceptable in this city and for this organization. And that's kind of what would come out. As the years have gone on, I've realized that, especially as a goalie, that kind of brings on a lot of added outside noise that in the end of the day, I just have to deal with. So, I'm definitely finding enjoyment in just playing the game and focusing on mastering the craft, and I'm really enjoying that process. And
you're an emotional guy, and you have settled down when it comes to that the past year. But I get it, man. Like sometimes maybe kind of a fluky goal happens and you're pissed. The game's boring. Somebody's bumping into you all the time. Maybe he whacks you a little bit. Maybe he's chirping. Are you like, I want to go out there and fucking whack this guy, and I want to two-hand him in the back? How do you calm yourself down? Because we all go through that kind of stuff. Do you sit there? Do you count to 10? Do you say, okay, chill out, just make another save?
You do some
Don't
Tai
worry about
Chi.
that. You listen to your master in Tai Chi.
Maybe
What's he going to think of me?
Maybe I'll throw some Tai Chi in there next year. But I would say just to find your breath, right? Like that's kind of what everyone does when they're in a stressful situation. You get in a road rage incident, you just got to breathe, relax.
You okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So it's similar to that, and it's just an ongoing process. Like everyone, every day in life, there's stuff you go through, and you're not happy about it. You had a bad day. It's like, all right, just go to bed and just reset tomorrow. And
don't make that phone call and yell that. Just sleep on it.
Yeah.
And the next day, you're like, thank God I didn't call that guy or whatever, right?
But sometimes it feels good, to just get it out.
Do you think teams try to take advantage of that? Do you think they can get you off your game?
It's definitely been a raised. I've definitely noticed it more, especially last year. But in my head, I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, no one understands that I'm in control of this. Like, if someone could run me through the net and I won't do anything, it's when I feel that there's a moment in time, which I felt like it was a moment in time where something's too far gone, or there needs to be some kind of energy out there. That's when previously I would, go about my business. But, like I said, going forward, I'm kind of over it. So I'm sure there's moments of that emotion will come out, and hockey is an unpredictable game. So you never know what happens, or if someone happens to my teammate, then but I feel like I can take a hit. So it's just kind of just something you got to deal with, and hopefully.
You feel like your head coach or your goalie coach, they just let you be who you are, or do you think they try to kind of like be like, hey, let's reel it in, or they just say, hey, that's Benner being Benner, we're gonna let his personality be what it is?
I don't know. That'd be a question for them, but I think the relationship is strong there, and we're in it together. We're on the same plan of just seeing where we could take this, how good we can be. And so
this is a quiet year though for you. You only had one fine this past year.
Yeah,
and that was like borderline.
Don't lose it completely.
That was borderline. You got to keep people on their toes though, at the same time. They got to know that.
You got to know. And you're boxing.
Benner could strike, and now he's boxing.
Yeah,
so he's like learning different combinations.
He's a master and a boxer.
And a Tai Chi master.
No, I can't earn that title in one class, but yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask you one question though about like the Nazem Kadri situation?
I was going to ask.
When you threw the water bottle, did you really throw it? Were you throwing it? Like, set the record straight. What'd you do? You threw the bottle at him. He's doing an interview, and then he's like, he just threw a bottle at me.
The victim.
Did you feel like he ran you on purpose in that situation?
Well, I mean that's a couple years back now, but I mean we know the way he plays the game, and I like how he plays the game. To be honest, he plays hard, and I'm sure he's someone you'd want on your team at some points. And I came back from the MRI at the hospital. Walking down, limping down the hallway, and I had an empty water bottle. I was looking for a recycling, no bags in it. So I kept walking, and I said, if this guy's here, like if I run into this guy, I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
Because
you're heated.
You know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And then I come around the corner, and he's just doing an interview smiling, and I'm just like, man, like, so I just chucked the water bottle, and I kind of let up when I threw it because I was like, I don't know, but I mean, in hindsight, I probably could have made a little more of a scene, let him know, you know, like you're over there smiling, you're taking guys out of playoffs again. That's, you know, but I'm not worried about it. And I do like I like guys who play hard and yeah.
Fuck that. I am worried about it. That pissed me off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
you were feeling it.
Fuck, everybody was pissed
at that point. You were playing.
I know, and you know what? People came on him hard, and I was like, guys, you know, don't lose your jobs over this. It's everything's okay, and stuff happens. It's a game, right? So it's part of it, and that was unfortunate. But you know, you got to move on.
No, I can tell when it's calculated. Like you're under control. Like I've always said that.
Yeah.
About you too. Like whether it's the Dubnyk situation or Zucker or whoever, like you know exactly what you're doing. Like you're in control of the situation there, correct?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll leave a little up to you know, creativity. Yeah.
Creativity. We had both those guys on, by the way. Yeah. Do you ever look at dude, we've had Dubnyk on and we had Zucker on. Yeah. When those situations happen and then you look at it the next day, how do you feel? Do you feel like I wish I wouldn't have done that, or are you like I should have gone further? Like you're not embarrassed by that, are you?
No, it depends, and it's just different points in my career, and at the time, that's what I was about, and yeah, I don't mind making a little noise sometimes, and then like I might be a little misunderstood in the journal reporter industry, but I feel like I don't think they do, but I hope they understand that sometimes that does create stories and more stuff to talk about. So, yeah, I just kind of keep moving. I'm on a mission to win hockey games, and that's where my mind's at. So I'm on to the next one.
You think you guys would have won the Stanley Cup if the season wasn't paused the year after you won?
That's a tough one. We were feeling good. It's kind of a weird one that just gets swept under the rug, but who knows? It's tough to say.
You guys were better that year than you were the year before, maybe in terms of how you were playing, because you guys were feeling it too, right? Yeah. Right up to the time that the season was paused. I mean, you never know. It's a tough question to ask. Know, right? Like, would you guys have won? I don't know if you would have won.
Anything can happen. So there's no point on that.
You guys were rocking and rolling. What are you talking about? Rocking and rolling. Yeah. Then it came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
Even when you guys went to the bubble, you're like, oh fuck. What the fuck is
we
this?
don't want to be here.
What is this?
That was
that god awful.
You did not want it's just, especially coming out of how we won and like playing in Winnipeg and Boston, and then you're in there and it's like
nobody's watching.
It's just
weird environment.
It was just different. So
you think goalies should ever be captains like Roberto Longo, or is that too goofy for a goalie to wear the C?
I know. I think a player deserves to wear the C, and a goalie is a position in its own. And if you're a good leader, your team knows, and you go about it that way. I don't think you need the label.
Yeah, you don't need the label.
No, man, you got enough shit going on. Now you got to go to the fucking bench and be like, "Hey guys, here's the deal."
Yeah.
Then TV timeouts. Like, how do you communicate with everybody?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is kind of ridiculous. Do you watch games? Like, were you watching the games Like every night during the playoffs and stuff like that? You're like, I don't want to deal with it.
I watched a lot. When I'm in the playoffs, I like watching other series, other games. It just keeps you in it. I did watch most of the finals and a couple other playoff games, but I found it. I watched that game 7, and I didn't even enjoy watching it because I'm not cheering for anyone, so I kind of just don't want the game to end. I just like seeing plays, and then I'm like, it's just I'm reacting to it, but I enjoy watching the celebrations and the post-game interviews because I feel like you get the genuine responses and emotions and moments like that. And so I do watch it, but I found it a little stressful for some reason. I don't know why.
Did you watch the videos of them celebrating and laugh because they didn't have anybody pouring the beer into, compared to you guys at Obie Clark's, where there's thousands of people everywhere and you're dumping beer on everybody, and you see the guys in Florida and there's like women walking their dogs past the Stanley Cup. They don't even notice it.
Just got beer all over me.
Excuse me, guys, get out of my way. I'm walking my dog. Like, they have no, and you see what you guys got to go through. I mean, it's a big difference.
Different market.
Pretty nice.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm just saying, it's pretty good here.
I haven't seen much of that yet, but our time was so special, and it's just city is a great city to play in.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When we were on the float, and you guys are just doing your thing during the celebration, and then you get on that little motorcycle, and you're like, and we're like, wow, that's cool, but be careful. Because I'm thinking like you're gonna wave to somebody and just be like, bam.
Yeah. No, I was all in on that scooter.
What was life like growing up for you? Was it hockey all the time, 24/7? It's just all you wanted to do was play hockey.
I think I realized once I turned 23, let's say, because I wasn't where I wanted to be in my career, and I wasn't giving it my all. I was kind of half in, just doing enough to get by, and I kind of realized that just how much time I put into hockey and loved hockey from such an early age. My parents taking me to hockey and how much time they spent on that. And then I started realizing that everything was sports and hockey related, and like mini sticks road hockey. I went to goalie school for, I think, maybe 8 weeks of summer. So it's like 7 a.m. till 3 p.m., 5 days a week for, I don't even know how many years, a lot of years. So I put a lot of time in, and I realized in my early 20s, it was kind of like, why am I wasting that and pretending that I'm not all in and don't want to be all in on this? And then I went all in and kind of gave myself to the game in a way. And I'm very grateful and appreciative I had the opportunity to do that. And so it was a lot in my life.
Yeah, no, that's a good perspective to have, because that is who you are, right? Mm-hmm. You're like a trained hockey player.
Yeah.
And you got to embrace that, right?
Yeah, sure.
He's a sensei, dude.
I tried to be all philosophical with him there.
I'm trying to get it out of you, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that's cool. I like how you present that, but you always loved the game. Did you ever think about quitting the game?
Yeah, like just before that, I was kind of like, when I got sent down from here and I didn't have a team, I was like, what's going on? Am I gonna? But it was literally the half season. So halfway through that season before is when I was like, okay, let's go. It's when I went, I don't know if you know about that Vegas trip, when I snuck off to Vegas midseason, and I came back and I was like, okay, and now I'm all in. And from that moment on, I think I finished the year with I got at least a point in the last 12 or 14 games.
What year was this?
I don't know. I would say maybe
before
16,
you got
17.
Okay, so you left and went to Vegas during the season, didn't tell anybody. You just left and went to Vegas.
Yeah.
How many days did you go to Vegas for?
36 hours.
What'd you do? Did you sleep it all in 36 hours?
Rodman style.
It was a little Dennis Rodman style.
Did you have a break, or were you missing practices?
So it was like I got suspended for PC Labrie.
Who's that?
PC Labrie is like a fighter, and
Labrie, yeah, I remember.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah,
he's a tough guy, good guy apparently.
Yeah.
I got suspended against him, and then then they called up Husso at the time. So then it was Husso and Copley, and then I got suspended for one game, couldn't dress, and then they just kept them guys up. those guys up. And then team went on an 8-game winning streak. So I was just healthy scratched. And then on the 8th game, I was like, all right, like I need to change something up. This is not right. I don't feel connected. And I just kind of the team played at home they were going on the road on a Saturday morning to play at a Saturday night game, and then we had the Sunday off, and then we had practice Monday. I believe it was that schedule. And
where were you playing at this time?
Chicago Wolves.
Okay.
So I didn't have to go on the road. So we went to the rink in the morning. We did a workout. Me and Jordan Binnington, if you know where that is. Yeah. He was hurt at the time. So we did a workout. The team went, took the bus to Rockford, and then me and him went right to the airport, which is really close by, right to Vegas. 36 hours, came back. I was rooming with Jay Swish, Schmaltzy, Buttergolf. And I didn't even tell him I went. So he came home from the road trip, and he's like, man, where are you? And I just didn't answer him till like the Sunday night. And he's like, dude, seriously, like what's going on? And then I sent him a picture. I was at the Caesar's Palace, and he was like, what is going on? And then came back and then got to work. Like it was a weird decision, but I felt I needed to change the wind of the sails in a way. Like it was just not working there. And then what ended up happening was I ended up kind of a crazy story. I was training, third goalie in practice, but I would do my stuff in the gym on the ice, and then in the long run they ended up trading Copley. So then I came back in, and then I was back up the rest of the year, and then they didn't. Yeah, it led me to that point.
Back up to Husso.
Yeah.
So did Karan go to Vegas with you?
He did.
So did the team ever know that you went?
No.
So you just came back and it was like you were never gone?
Yeah, I went right to practice.
And what changed for you after that trip?
I think I just kind of got whatever it was out of me, and it was like a checkpoint to commit myself to seeing where I can take this and appreciating the effort and work my parents, first of all, my coaches, like a number of coaches who were trying to tell me the right things, but I was just too immature to listen. And I felt like, not that I owed it to them, maybe my parents, but I owed it to them and myself to just see where we can go.
I feel like there's a lot of goalies that kind of get buried in the minors, right? Like good goalies, because it's just such a scrambly league. The East Coast is scrambly too. Like you could be an unbelievably skilled goalie, but like your D are fucking pinching all the time. Everybody wants cookies. Like it's just a different mindset. Like, can't you get lost being a goalie? It's tough.
Yeah, I feel like it happens a lot. You need the opportunity, and even with players too. Like you see a lot of, even when I was in the East Coast League, you see good talent in the East Coast League, and then even better in the AHL, and you just wonder why sometimes it doesn't work out. And yeah, it's interesting.
I feel like a forward though. Like if you really wanted to stick out as a forward, it's a lot easier than being a goalie. You got to wait for the shot to come, then could get tipped. Like you could be jammed up being a goalie in 2 seconds, and it's not your fault because of shit happens. But a forward or a D man, like you can control the play a lot more.
Yeah.
It's tough.
What changes when you're in the minors making whatever you're making versus in the NHL making $6 million a year, where you got the security of a contract? What changes? How's life different from a hockey standpoint?
I think you're able to really focus on what you need to do to be at your best. And I think sometimes in those early years where you're struggling and, summer training is expensive, goalie training is expensive. So that's a stress, and you're like kind of budgeting. Whereas in when you make a little more money, you can kind of make those decisions. You have the freedom to, get away when you need to, and then get to work when you need to. And I think it's a constant balance of just finding what you need and improving and working on your mental game. And so I think it's just the freedom to make those decisions.
What about like, do you have like a chef? Are you a healthy eater? You gotta be. I mean, you don't put any weight on. I don't know how you got tapeworm or something. Do you eat a lot?
I eat a fair amount. It's just that this is how my body is.
Yeah.
Since way back. I'd say pretty clean, especially as the years have gone on.
Chef?
No chef. My wife's a very good cook, actually.
Yeah, nice.
I didn't even know I was getting that when I signed up for it, but
nice?
She's legit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you eat meat and all that stuff? Are you like picky?
No, I'm not picky. She's added some flavor into my life in that regards. When I just used to cook for myself, it'd be, breaded chicken, sweet potato with salt, broccoli with lemon, rice. But she has, like flavors, spices. She's European, so get a nice balance.
How'd you meet her?
I was trying to think of something funny, but I've known her since I was 16 ish, and we've been friends for a while, and then we kind of just hit it off a couple years ago, just 6 years ago now.
You just randomly meet somewhere like,
is she an actress?
Yeah, she's an actress.
She's still pursuing acting?
Well, now she's pursuing baby making.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she is. Yeah, it's kind of a cool job, right? So she can come back to that later in life and be a, different kind of character and in that regards. But I think I might be biased, but I think she's very talented, and it's crazy seeing her, her memory because she has to remember all the lines, and like she knows every word to every song she hears at one time. They just pick it up so fast, and it's cool to see.
Can you remember your lines? Because we have to do some stuff after this that we have to record.
I'm the worst at that. I can't.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No. We used to ad-lib. Did you ever say like, hey, perform in front of me, and you sit on the couch and she like rehearses something?
We would
role play.
She'd be like, early on it was a lot of fun. She'd be like, hey, I got an audition, you got to read lines with me. So then I'd be like, let's go. Like I secretly would love to be in that industry.
Yeah.
And I would test myself, right? I would go accents or intense moments but I don't even know how to read the lines, the scenes, and whatever emotion it is. But then it got to a point where I was like, okay, because she kind of just shut me down. She's like, stop, just read the lines. Do not pretend you're that character. This isn't about you. And so yeah, it was fun, and it's cool seeing her act like that. And she goes off in her own little scenes sometimes, which is pretty funny.
You like being on stage, dude. That's what it comes down to.
Damn right
you like being on stage.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's right.
And that's cool, man. You ever thought about being like a DJ or something? Like, who's the guy?
Andy, you just saw one DJ. Now he wants to be a DJ. He wants everybody else. DJ Ieko.
I want to be
Ieko. No, Aiki.
Ieko.
Anyway, he's really good.
Okay.
I mean
that would be
$500,000 a show.
$500,000 a show.
And it actually gets paid more because it's like $10,000 in cake. He throws cakes on people.
Yeah.
Aoki.
Fellas, come on.
Dude.
Well, I would not have.
He's good,
dude. That up. But
but imagine being the lead singer, in a rock band, and you write a song, and then you're singing, and there's thousands of people just singing it back to you. You don't even have to sing like that.
That's the coolest thing.
Can you top that feeling? I don't know.
Being a comedian and a sold out.
No, you can't top that feeling. You win Game 7 in Boston.
No,
you dominate.
No, I don't know. They do it on the regular.
No, that was Robert Thomas who said he likes to go see comedians.
Yeah.
He goes and sees random comedians.
See him on Friday.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Ari Spears.
Did
you ever see that video
Dude, he's hilarious.
where he's on the mic and he does the impersonations of like Jay-Z?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I watch it
where's
all
he
his
gonna
shit. At the, what is it, Funny Bone? Why don't you go?
It's at, I'm thinking about it, but it's, because I showed my wife the video
Tai Chi
recently.
class.
Yes. Bring your 6-year-olds and do a Tai Chi.
Right, for the record,
he'll call you out. Like
love the, I don't know. But we might make it there because he's funny. He's funny.
He's hilarious.
But
he'll point you out. Like, I'm going to wear a loud hat because I know he's gonna fucking chirp the shit out of her.
Yeah.
You think goalies, like, do you always get along with your goalie partner? Like, how does that work? Because I would think, like, if I'm the backup quarterback, like, I'm waiting to get into the game, and I'm not getting in the game unless the starter struggles, right? I never want to hope for an injury. But are you good to your partner? Like, do you help them out? Do you guys go your separate ways? Like, how does that work? Like,
I think you learn it from when you're just a little kid. It's just a respected competition, and at this level, you want to see the team be successful. So I think in that aspect, it makes it easier. Obviously, you want to be in there, but I think it depends on, I had Thomas Greiss, who was just an amazing guy, would just stay in for the boys, and just an all-time guy and veteran. And then I had Husso, and then I got Hofer now, who's a little younger, and I'm learning even things from him, and hopefully he's learning some stuff from me, and it's fun, and it's nice to have a good relationship. Just it makes it more enjoyable, right? And
Yeah, no, you want to have a good relationship.
Of course.
But I would imagine for some guys, like we've heard the stories, guys come on who like played with like Eddie Belfour or something, or like Dominic Hasek, like those guys, they're not giving up on that.
No.
they're like, get out, yeah,
They're not
I'll
talking
kill
to
you.
They don't want your
Okay.
pads.
They're not
Yeah,
helping
yeah.
you, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. They're not rooting for you.
Not rooting for you.
It's a balance. Like you can tell when you're aware when guys are, leaning towards that way or feeling a certain way some days, and it's just you got to manage it somehow.
Didn't it suck when you were a kid though? Because I don't want to name him, but like a former NHL player who his kid plays goalie and he refuses to go to these tournaments where there's going to be two goalies. He's like, I'm not going to go watch him play half the games. That's got to suck as a kid though. Like you could pretty much play every game if you wanted to when you're little, right?
Yeah.
And you got to like you got to rotate.
Yeah, I mean, I think we used to
Did you rotate?
switch like mid-game.
Yeah, they do that too.
So then you play every game.
Half a game.
It is a tricky situation because you want to develop, and you got to develop by playing games. But it's no different than a kid who plays less minutes. I don't know if they do that in the young ages, but
Yeah. No, they'll rotate or they'll switch. Maybe you could do that in an NHL. It should have like a relief pitcher, like where the goalie just comes in midway through. Like if you're not starting the game, you come in and third.
You don't like going in cold. Hell no.
No, it's not ideal.
Have you gotten to a goalie fight before?
Just one against Copley. So it's kind of tough because we like each other a lot. So
Yeah, you just
it was different. Yeah, like it's yeah. And then my other fight was against PC Labrie on paper. We didn't really get. It wasn't like a legit fight, but
You came close. What was it? A couple years
Marc
ago.
Andre Fleury.
Yeah, baby. Were you like, uh-oh, it's going down now?
this is like that story. Because he was shaking his hands at me a couple games prior, and then
What is that?
I heard.
like this.
Yeah,
like,
kind of.
Let's go.
And then I heard through a mutual contact he. Why is it so funny?
Because
He didn't know. He didn't know. Like,
Yeah,
drop
go
the
ahead.
glove.
All right, mutual contact.
We had a mutual contact who said to the mutual contact that he would be open to fighting. And I saw an interview one time that he did, and he said, someone asked him, is there anything left you want to do in the league? And he said, I want to get in a goalie fight.
Yeah.
And I like Marc Andre Fleury. I looked up to him, his style, the way he plays, he's a good teammate. So, he was on the moment, and I presented the moment, and he answered it. He came down, and it's tough. I felt like that was the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously didn't go down. So
What the linesman say? No.
yeah, we're just
Get out of the damn way.
we were kind of just like, come on. But I know it's their job too, right? Like they're probably told never to let the goalies go unless it's.
Is that what they're told?
I'm just
I would say
assuming.
yeah,
I'm
too.
just assuming,
I would
but
say
I don't know. And so it is what it is. I'm not. There's no,
Well, now that the word is out, you're taking the boxing lessons. Nobody's going to want to fight.
What if you fought him and his beautiful teeth, and you caught him and knocked his two teeth
Oh
out?
my God.
His white pearly
I don't know if
teeth.
that would happen.
Oh,
They look
man.
pretty strong too.
They do
They
look
look
thick.
very
They look
strong.
thick.
They look some.
Your
strong
hand will be
teeth.
busted up.
Yeah,
dude.
no. Yeah.
Protect your body.
Well, next year's his last year. I feel like we.
Yeah, you'll go. Yeah,
Let's set this
that'd
up.
be hilarious.
Okay.
Buckets off at center ice. Do it for the fans. It'd be hilarious.
Oh, the fans would love it.
Oh,
No,
God.
yeah, I don't know.
You look up to
We're-
some of those old school goalies who like. I mean,
Here comes Shovel
like
Day.
oh no, like Ron Hextall and some of those guys. You ever watch old school video of those guys?
Oh, I've seen the videos.
What do you think of those guys? We don't have too many like that anymore.
No, not too many. But I mean, they were pretty iconic, and you could tell the passion that they had. And yeah, me and my roommates in junior, we'd always watch the Hextall clips, and yeah, pretty funny.
crazy.
Pretty funny
I
now
can
to
see
see.
coaches go one or two ways. They're either going to say knock off the shit, stay in the net and play goal. I'm sure like that's the way a lot of coaches talk. Or some are going to like encourage you to just hey, this whatever. You just got to be yourself.
Well, I think it really depends how the team's doing.
Mhm.
There's times where I've done it in the past, but our team finds a way to win, and we're having success, and it's nothing, right? So it just depends on the situation too,
How is Chief
and the momentum.
with you?
Chief is great. I love Chief. We all love Chief. He's obviously a physical guy when he played, and yeah, but he was great.
When he gets fired, are you guys completely caught off guard, or do you know, like as a player, like listen, if we don't pick up our shit, like there may be a change. Like you can almost feel it coming sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think we realized it would actually, like when it actually happened, we were like that sucks. But it's something, you sense something's gonna happen, and there's meetings that happen, and we're like, we got to get going, or anything can happen, and it's no fun.
Do you call him after that night, or do you?
I'm a guy who would give it some time and then talk to him. But yeah.
What do you think your biggest save? Do you remember your saves, the big saves?
Yeah, I mean some of them.
What's your big? What do you think the biggest one where you made that save and you're like, okay, you're damn right, I'm in this bad boy. Was it the one when Ben came around in Game 7 against Dallas?
No.
Maybe a couple of those bad boys in Game 7 against Boston. In the first
you
period?
remember those, but I would say, like even in that last game of the season versus Dallas, there's an overtime glove save that I was like, that felt nice.
Yeah,
that felt nice.
You get one or two of those a game. Down low,
in the NHL, there other teams getting chances no matter what team. So you got opportunities to make saves.
You ever not want to practice? You guys practice every day.
Yeah, I think
they made it. The media made a big deal the other day. They're like, Bobrovsky's not practicing. This is not. I'm like, dude, he's just traveling back from Edmonton. It's Game 7. I don't think he's like missing the game.
8-hour flight.
But
yeah,
is it hard to go out there and face 300 shots?
It depends on the
2-on-1s.
How many games you're playing, and all sorts of things. So I think what you learn as the years go on is what you need and when to really. If it's a good drill, like a 2-on-1, 3-on-2, a rush drill, I'm like, okay, let's go. Like I love these. But when it's the drills where the guys just come down and just shoot it from like the hash marks, and you're doing that for like 8 minutes, it's like, all right, you can. You can work on something. You can just go deeper and work on tracking, or there's always something you can do to get something out of it. But yeah, it's kind of load management a little bit.
Do you watch other goalies? Are you a fan of any goalies in the league?
I actually really like Bob. I liked Bob for a while. Just his style. He's so smooth, and you could tell he's so in tune with his body and his gear and the way he plays the game. From my point of view, at least, and so he's someone I just I enjoy watching.
What about like guys in practice? There's always one guy that shoots high and heavy, and he clips you a couple times. It's zooming past your head. Like, who does that? And you get pissed at those guys?
Are you talking about yourself?
I can't shoot that hard anyway. It won't hurt you.
Yeah. We actually have had a couple. I would get to St. Louis early, and you'd be skating with the guys, and I'd be out there with you. Yeah, you have your jersey gear on.
Did you notice how bad my shot was? Were you like,
I mean, at that point in my career, I saw your shot was pretty good, right? You don't give yourself enough credit, I don't think, but yeah, he's pretty solid.
You like that, Andy?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
He's not gonna hurt you with a shot either.
I'm a deker.
Yeah, he's a deke. He's a skill guy.
Yeah.
So Bobrovsky, that's your guy. That's nobody else that really like stands out. Like these guys are like 6'6", 6'7". Like when did this happen? Where everybody's just
and they can move. Yeah.
Skinner's a monster too.
Yeah, he is.
That Stolarz comes in. He's huge too.
Yeah. He's big. He can move. Yeah, I don't know. That's why. That's the goaltending too. Then you got Juicy Saros, right? Who's smaller and he's pretty smooth out there too. So it's kind of fun seeing. It's kind of like you're an artist, and the way you play goalie is that's your craft. So that's kind of how I view it. Right.
Did you like going to the World Championships?
I really enjoyed it. It was my first taste of it, and
put that jersey.
Canada, yeah, it was cool wearing the Canada jersey. They were incredible, like A+ on everything, with treatment of players and organization and making sure we have what we need, staff. Like I was very impressed with that, and just being able to meet guys around the league. It was fun just getting to know them a little bit, them getting to know me. I think like we've talked about earlier, I had a couple guys, we'd be out having a couple beers and they're like, man, you're like the complete opposite of what I thought you were as a person. And so just moments like that kind of stood out. And then the actual playing environment of the Europe, feel, and it was kind of like a soccer feel. And I would say there was one game where we played Czech Republic, and we were up 3-1. They came back to tie at 3-3 in the third. We won in overtime. And that was probably the loudest for the whole game. Might have been the loudest rink I've ever played.
They're chanting nonstop.
Yeah, it was intense. It was a lot of fun. And it's a really cool opportunity, and I'm happy I got to experience it. Usually I think you want to do it a little early in your career. And then, moving forward, hopefully we're still playing. You don't really want to make it a habit. But when the opportunity does arise, I would highly recommend guys experiencing that. And you get to get a little culture in you too. We went to 3 cities, Vienna, Budapest, and Prague. All different and all great. And yeah.
How's the stress level compared to like the NHL playoffs? Are you as stressed out as like a big game in the playoffs over there? Or is it kind of more just like, hey, we're the experience aspect. Yeah, we're wearing the Team Canada jersey. Like we got to put on a show one way or the other. But like, is there a difference, or do you just always have the same mindset?
Well, I think we're all competitors. Everyone who wants to be over there is wanting to compete and to win. And there's a high standard, and there's if you win, the better you do in that tournament, the better setup it is for the team the following year. So there's a lot of pass it on too, and it's like any other game. Like you're definitely hyped up for it, and it's different too. You got different ice, so it's kind of fun for the players, I think, to have a little bigger ice surface and play with different guys, and everyone's pretty talented. So I would say it's to the same level. So, well, not same level as the playoffs, I'd say, but it's intense. And then when you get to those playoff games in the tournament, it's intense. Like guys are laying on the line.
Yeah, I get that.
How do you think Steiner will be as a general manager?
I'm really excited for him. He's very excited, and just all of his press conferences and the quotes he's had, and it's all real. So he's a passionate guy. He loves St. Louis genuinely and wants only the best for the players here, the city, and the people. So he's I'm excited for him.
Are you gonna call him Alexander?
Probably not.
Steiner.
Yeah.
Better give you another good deal.
Yeah, baby. Alexander.
Yeah, you never know. Never know, right?
You'll be
all right. What do you think of McDavid winning the Conn Smythe on the losing team?
I think it was kind of a tough scene, right? Like you'd want the guy to go and be happy getting it.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I mean, if the guy deserves it from what he put into that playoff run, which is a lot, and he left it all out there, I mean, I don't know. That's the rules, right? So
would you, if you won the MVP and your team lost and you're like fucking devastated, would you go out there, or would you be like, fuck it, I already won, let me go in the locker room and just chill with the guys and deflate a little bit?
It would be an in the moment reaction to, right. It's tough to say. Like, I completely understand how we didn't go out there.
Yeah,
I completely understand that.
It didn't bother me.
And this guy has so much on his plate, just leave him alone.
He really does. Huh?
He looks stressed out.
He handles it great though. He does. From
you know him at all?
Just a little bit. Nothing crazy. No, but really nice guy.
He has a lot on his plate.
He does, man. He is like, he's just like, he's throughout the playoffs, man.
Yeah, so let's just throw that one on his plate. Why not?
Yeah,
he's going through this.
I don't think he needs to come out and accept the award.
No, not at all.
Like, I wouldn't expect a player who loses to come out.
Not at all. He waited for all his teammates to get done, shaking everybody's hand. Like, he did the right thing for his team. Who cares about that damn thing? Yeah. The big trophy you missed. So what's next for you? Like, as a player, like, what else would you want to accomplish outside of like winning again? Are you a big goal setter? Like, do you put stuff pen to paper prior to games? What changes year to year for you?
I have my vision set out, and you're kind of keep it to myself, but there is stuff out there that I want to experience and accomplish and feel and be a part of. Absolutely.
Is the chip that you had when you first came into the league, is it still there? Like, feeling like maybe like you were a secret in the minors, they didn't know what they had in you, like they didn't know how good they had, what kind of prospect they had, whatever, like talking about anybody. Then you get in there and the rest is history. Do you ever lose that? Like, do you turn the page from that, or you still carry that that ship?
I think I walk with it, right? I think everything you experience in life, you carry with you in a way, and you know, and you remind yourself of it. And I definitely, I hate losing, and I want to be successful. I want to be a competitive team. I want to see, where I could take this, how good I can be, what I can get out of myself. And, I enjoy relationships with coaches and trainers and masters and everything. Like I'm a very open-minded guy, and to hearing what can be done to keep evolving as a person and player.
Okay, because some people would say, well, you should have been in the NHL sooner, but maybe they got it right, and you came up at the right time when you were ready. Like, do you feel like you were ready before you got here?
No, I think I thought I was ready, but there's no way. Like, you think in your early 20s, you just sit there and you just say to yourself, you could be there, you could do it.
Better than this guy.
But really, if I looked in the mirror and asked myself, I would be honest with myself, saying you weren't ready. You had to do a whole lot more. This is a hard league. You got to maintain a certain level, and you got to build that for years to compete at a consistent level.
Yeah. At the time, you're like, yeah, God, what am I doing? Then you get older and you look back, you're like, no.
Yeah, and I'm sure in 10 years from now, I'm going to be saying the same thing about how I'm thinking right now. It's just that's life, man. That's life.
No doubt about it.
So.
That's why I was joking with you. Like the whole, do I look nervous, whatever. That's like, is that do you still carry that personality, or is that the old Binner? Like that's not you anymore.
No, I mean, that's me. I'm definitely, I like to keep it unpredictable. I like to be in and put people in situations, that are a little different, and you handle it, and then you kind of learn from it. So those are, I think that's where it goes back to people who know me, kind of.
You were one of the toughest ones I've ever had to interview. Like when you first came up here, it's like live on TV. I'm asking you, I'm like, how's he going to answer this? Am I going to look like a fucking idiot here when he answers this question?
Yeah.
But
it was all like, I hope it didn't.
No.
And if anything, it kind of challenges you.
Yeah.
And you got to ask
You asked that question?
You got to ask.
You asked it to him, and that's why he said.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Ask that question.
But when you do,
nervous? No, I
did you? But when you do
my
say
boy
that,
JT, I think.
Yeah, Jimmy Thomas.
Yeah,
who retired, by the way, good guy. But when you say that and that blows up, you're like, all right, now I gotta fucking go out there and do my thing. Like okay, a little bit more pressure, but I want that. Bring it on. Let's go out there and I'll prove it to everybody.
A little bit. I mean, yeah, but I would say I knew. I was kind of playing with it leading up to that, and then I knew I wanted to have one kind of line, something like that, and then build off from there. So it was methodical in some ways, and then it does bring hype and bring extra pressure, which puts me in a tougher situation to learn from and get better. And just like the getting in the whatever you want to call that the last couple of years, it's like I'm getting something out of that, good or bad. I'm learning from it, and I'm going to hopefully use it and hone it to benefit my craft and our team and the whole situation. So it's a big picture kind of perspective.
I get you.
Are you on social media? Do you read what people say about you and stuff like that?
No,
it's interesting.
I'm on there, but I don't really look too in depth.
Mm-hmm. Well, because you say like, hey, you meet players and they're like, well, that's not what. Which is like, what do they think? Like, of course, people are always going to be different when you get to know them personally. Like, you can't just judge them based on what you see on TV or whatever, or watching a game. You got to get to know the person.
Yeah.
But you also know by carrying yourself a certain way, right, or playing with a certain level of emotion, which is different than most goaltenders, there's going to be a reaction that comes with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you look at Matthew Tkachuk and the whole playoffs, and I mean, you see what he does, and then you watch his post-game interview and how grateful of a person he is and family man he is. There's your perfect example of that's just sports, right? That's the competitive nature coming out, and inside feels that way,
Hey, I know you got like 15 more years left and you're going to play, but like, do you ever think of like what you want to do after hockey? Would you want to coach? Would you want to be a GM? Would you want to stay in the game, or do you want to just sit back, kick your feet up, and hang out with your beautiful wife and your kids?
I feel like that answer will come.
All right.
I'm pretty open to new experiences, and I do think there's a certain level of you learn all these things in hockey and experience and wisdom, and it'd be nice to pass that on to younger generations or people who are following the game and keep a close eye and want to hear more of your perspective, I would say.
Yeah, man, I get that.
Who's got the hardest shot that you face?
The
heaviest, hardest.
Well, you were up there.
Brent Johnson used to always, whenever I ask him that, he'd be like, "You mean the hardest or the heaviest?"
Yeah, there's a difference, but I would say one Shea Weber shot. My first year hit the bar, and like it was next level fast.
Yeah.
Parayko has if he actually shoots it his hardest, I feel like sometimes
Does he shoot hard in practice?
He's gotten shooting harder over the years.
Do you want him to?
Not all the time.
No,
it's pretty hard. It's
a big boy.
Yeah, he's got a hard shot.
Yeah,
really good shot. Yeah.
Who else? Obi?
I don't know. I haven't really. You're not on the East, so I don't see that one timer that much, right? So
McKenna's got. He rips it pretty good.
Randon
McCarr can shoot it too.
Yeah, he's got
everybody can. Yeah, everybody's got a good shot
nowadays. There's a lot of good players out there, which is great. The game, I feel like the game's in a great place.
It is, man. It was entertaining.
It's fun to watch.
Yep.
It's got to be one of the best seasons, top to bottom.
I agree.
It's fun to play. It's fun to watch, and guys are only getting better, I think.
How many games do you like to play? Because you played like 65 or whatever it was. You would have led the league if you didn't get suspended at the end of the year, probably, with that Marc Andre Fleury situation. So I think it was Hellebuck who led the league in games played or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's just listening to the body and the mind throughout. I don't have like a set number, I would say.
Do you go over the schedule with the coaching staff, or do they just tell you, hey, here's what we have laid out for the next 10 games or whatever?
It's a bit of both, especially as the years go on and the communication level is there. So it's always changing. It's like we said, it's such an unpredictable game and season that you can't really predict anything like that.
What's it like having friends kind of come and go, like who you work with? Like I couldn't imagine like Cam could get traded tomorrow, like, and all of a sudden,
what would you do?
Fucked. He's just not on that.
What would you do?
Andy would love it. He wants to do a show by himself.
I just do it all by myself. No, but like that's especially when you win a championship, and like a lot of guys have left from that team.
It's part of the game. It's the business, right? But I was the guys you get drafted with, and I lived with, for example, Joel Edmondson in the minors. And then came up together, won together, and we're still super tight, but then he's been gone for X amount of years. And there's a ton of guys like that, but it's just part of it, right? And then it's nice when you do play each other again, you'll go out for dinner and kind of reminisce. You keep in touch, right? It's just part of it.
No. Last thing.
You do go from seeing them every single day to nothing, which is different.
So Justin Bieber, where do things stand with you and him? Are you still planning on putting together some type of charity event?
Great question. I don't think so. I think it's kind of past the point. I think in the moment it would have worked out well, and then we were planning to do it that summer, but then COVID happened, and then from there it's kind of.
What were you gonna do?
We're gonna do a shootout, 10 shots, and.
You think he can score on you?
If I really flutter one in, and you're gonna be like, what?
Yeah, like it's, that's why it's a gamble.
Yeah.
That's
a lose-lose for you.
So then what happens? So if he scores on you, then what?
Then it would be donation to charity.
All right, well that's good.
Either way. So,
Is he a good guy?
I mean, from what I know, yeah.
Oh, you don't know him that well?
No. But yeah, he seems like a good guy. But yeah.
He's had a bizarre life.
Yeah.
Out of this world life. At a young age.
Yeah.
With like P. Diddy and stuff at a young age. Imagine that, 15 years old.
Well, yeah, I mean, who knows? But that level of fame too is something.
But he likes all those Toronto boys,
Yeah.
He's tight with all those.
Yeah, he's good for hockey, man. He likes hockey. I appreciate that.
Goes to the All-Star game.
He's wheeling around, fucking ripping shots in the warm-ups and All-Star game. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hockey kind of needs that too.
For sure.
Bad marketing.
It's,
what do you think of the marketing with NHL players? Like, what's the next step? We got to like take this to the next level. BioSteel spent all their money, and now all this stuff. They were like sponsoring everybody. Now they're not even around anymore. So now it's the other drink.
Yeah, where could they
Body
take
armor.
it? I don't know. Maybe focus more on the personal, individual players. Because there's some cool characters in the league and some guys with some swag, and I think hockey players tend to keep things pretty quiet, which is, I mean, it's a nice way to go about things because then it's less on your plate and you can live your life. But I don't know how you. I think it's growing naturally. Obviously, you got McDavid, who's, he's in a lot of advertisements and gambling
Doesn't say
companies.
much,
No, but
Crosby doesn't say much.
No,
he's in there.
McKinnon doesn't say much.
Yeah. So those are the best players, and
Barkov.
they're, yeah, I don't know where it goes, but I think it's steadily getting there. I think the game, maybe it's one of those things, the game will speak for itself, and doing it that way, it'll be stronger for longer with a better foundation rather than just throwing money around. And I don't know, I'm just making this up.
Like dance, entertain.
Yeah, and then it's like, all right, now that's
too much.
What's next? Yeah. So maybe we're growing it in a natural manner, and it'll hold steady. But
Game's good, dude. There's a game that's good. It's entertaining as hell, man.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of everything. Still a physical play. There's fights going on. You got superstar goalies. The superstars are cool. They're scoring at a high rate. I don't know.
got some
I
swag.
was entertained all year.
They got some
You got
swag,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it was good.
How
Thanks for doing this.
How
man.
did you guys start this?
Well, Cam was asking me to do this for quite some time.
We just said let's start a fucking podcast, dude. Everybody's doing it, starting to get going. Schickel's is having some success. We could be unique and different. I chirp him, he chirps me. We're kind of just go balls out, talk about anything. Then we'll have big dogs like you on, shoot the shit, and then it rolls from there,
Yeah.
But it's still fucking work, man. Like we got to do another hour and a half after this.
100%.
You got to entertain. People critique your fucking takes.
Yeah.
If I got a goddamn zit on my face or a cold sore like I did, look at that. They're staring at me right now. I feel like I'm hideous looking. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. It ages you a little bit with that camera on your face.
Would you want to start a podcast? Like all the NBA players have them during the season.
During the season.
So if you want to have one
There's a
during
way.
the year, we can probably set that up.
Don't be like Matthew Stafford and have your girl do a podcast and talk about your,
Your
internal
backup
shit.
quarterback.
How bizarre was that? What a
That's not the play, I guess.
No.
I don't know. I really enjoy talking.
Mhm.
You guys are easy to talk to, and I've heard your stuff before, and so you guys just kind of bounce around, whatever, go with the flow, and you get to where you get. And I enjoy it, and I think it's something that I down the road will be cool to look back and hearing the outlooks and hearing you guys talk, and it's fun. It's a fun part of life.
Yeah, and you're different. You're
Always
you're
be
different. The way you
different.
think is different, and that's what people want. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the way you answer questions, like you're just very, very internal. Deep thought. I like it.
Yeah.
I got my style.
You stay
he's
with
got
it.
his style.
Yeah.
And so everybody's different,
Yeah.
which is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really enjoy listening to podcasts in general.
Yeah.
So
So do I. I like
it's,
Rogan, all that shit. Like I like
Yeah.
interesting stuff.
But I think a lot of
talking
hockey
about
players
UFOs.
have always been kind of programmed to talk the same, think the same.
Robotronic. It's like,
Robotic.
yeah.
Robotronic.
Can't be outside the box.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
am
But
gonna
I
talk
think
about-
we're getting less and less of that now, and there's more freedom for players to kind of be themselves.
Yeah. I think there's
You see
opportunity.
PK doing his thing on. You got Biz doing his thing.
You just
He's
do
killing
your
it.
thing, dude. Oh yeah. God.
PK, you know the Subans real well, don't you?
Yeah, I'm really tight with Malcolm.
Yeah.
Um,
Where's he at now?
he just finished. They lost in the AHL conference finals.
Okay.
So he's back in Toronto, but yeah, they're a great family.
Who's your best friend in hockey?
I don't know. Tough to say. Like I have my buddies growing up that are hockey guys.
But NHL player that you talk to the most, that you'll confide in.
Well, what on the team?
There's no title. I'm
Somebody's
like
gotta have a title.
no. I would say I'm kind of a floater. I'm
Mhm.
go for dinners.
You hang out with the boys on the
whoever.
road and stuff. You're not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
There's it's a good group. We'll have reservations for like 6, 8, 4, 10. Team dinner. So
Shiver makes the reservations.
he's a reservation guy for sure.
Yeah.
You play cards on the plane?
Yeah. See, that's cards is. I don't know if you were ever at the card table,
Oh yeah.
but
Wasn't good.
it's one of things you look back on, I think, in your career, and it's just so fun. You just, after a game, if you want to have a beer, you have a beer, you're snapping cards, and you're just talking about anything, and it's fun. I used to be watch movies, podcast, read or something, and then this is just, it's too fun.
It is. I started doing it when I was young in the minors with the older guys, just to hang out with them in the back of the plane or bus or whatever it was. But they fucking owned my soul.
Got roasted, yeah.
Roasted. But then you learn. But my concentration level is not great. So you're playing like 7 up, 7 down. You got to always think what you're doing. It's like, fuck, just take my money.
Yeah, we found a new game. Bortuzzo introduced us to a new game. It's not much thinking. So you can talk, and it's real cash on the table. So
I like that then.
Yeah, it's a
you
good
don't want
one.
to think that much.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Excited to be a dad?
Yeah, I am.
You know what you're having? You don't have to tell us.
No, we don't. We're waiting till the moment.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do a gender reveal in the forest and catch the forest on fire like most people do?
No, none of that. We're
No, they're gonna find out on the spot. When's it due?
mid-July.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's coming up. But it's been such a cool process of just seeing the respect for women giving birth is a lot. Like, even from my own mom, it's a lot that they go through and they carry, and they're tough. So it's been great, a great experience, and she's been doing very well, and I'm proud of her. And we're on the final stretch here, and just patiently awaiting the new joiner to the fam.
Are you gonna watch the whole thing, or are you gonna be right there?
What would you think by talking to me?
No, you're gonna watch.
You're gonna watch.
He's gonna be doing some Tai Chi. You'll be
he'll be like this.
I'll be getting it out there. Yeah. No, I think I'll watch.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do.
You gotta watch, dude.
Yeah. They say you gotta watch.
It's probably
Who's they?
who's they?
Who is
that?
I don't
Listen
know.
around on a podcast.
Who runs
Some
the
people
world?
tell me you don't want to watch, just so you know. But
Yeah.
I think it's good karma to watch. I would say.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
It's just
sometimes
an
you don't wanna
experience.
watch.
I know. I heard 50-50 with that.
Yeah.
I might take like a different view.
Yeah, like this.
That's what I.
Honey, I'm here. Don't worry.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see in the moment. But I would say I would watch as of now.
Well, yeah, man. Congrats. You're gonna be a good daddy.
And congrats on a great year. And listen,
Yeah.
we've been wanting to get you in here for a long time.
Yeah, man.
So we finally did it.
Mhm.
And so the next time we have you in, it'll be a completely different conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right on, buddy.
Okay.
Appreciate it, dude.
Thanks, guys.
The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy.
Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. That was Jordan Binnington.
He's an interesting guy.
It was a calm interview.
Yeah.
He's very calm. He's very laid back.
Yes.
And Cam and I are kind of in a laid back mood today too. Stuff going on.
Yeah.
Traveling, late night, quick turnaround, whatever. We're coming out later in the week. It's just a little bit of a different feel. But we wanted to have Jordan on for quite some time.
Yeah.
And we got him on. And I feel like we talked about a lot of things.
Yeah, we did. We had him on for about an hour and 15 minutes, man. He's cool. So I like him a lot.
Mhm.
He's a hell of a goalie.
Yes.
He gives you a chance to win every single
Great
night, but
goalie.
he's a good dude. And it's the way he processes everything upstairs.
Yeah.
He's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I asked him a couple of questions like, what do you want to do? I know your career's not over. I get that. You're going to sign another big contract. It's all good. But do you think about it? You're a smart guy. Do you want to get into hockey?
Yeah.
Do you want to do
You
something?
can ask
I don't know.
anybody that. They don't have to be that smart. You can always ask anybody what they want to do.
Well, usually the smart guys are the ones that succeed and have a vision on what they want to do next because they are smart.
Yes.
The dumb guys are like, I'm not going to be a GM because I'm too dumb. I get that. I get that.
Right.
So they have to have another trait.
Yeah. You should have gone.
But Benner is smart. And so it's like, what do you want to do? You have
years
the option.
ago, I told you should go into scouting.
I don't want to scout. Well, you don't think I can evaluate talent?
No, I wanted you to.
I totally can't.
I told you got your PhD in hockey. That's what you should be doing.
No, I'm an entertainer, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Even when I played, I'm an entertainer.
Yeah. So am I. Actually.
No, I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are. You're an interviewer. I'll give you that. You got your tag on, dude.
No, it's okay. It's brand new.
But
Comes with the tag.
Take the tag.
NHL license. I'm proving that right there.
Well, that's true, and that's a big deal, by the way.
It is.
You know,
This isn't some knockoff.
yeah.
It's the real thing. The new jerseys are out too, by the way.
Fanatics jersey.
Fanatics jerseys.
Did you see that Florida Panthers are getting chirped about their hats? Like their Stanley Cup. Where you get the hats right off the bat, and you put them on. They just look cheap as shit.
Were they?
Yeah. People were bashing them. They just look cheap.
Stop bashing everybody.
Well, when it's a shitty fucking product, like you're where's hat launch?
Just appreciate.
Well,
where is hat launch?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
call
we know,
hat launch, it won't be cheap.
We know what
hats.
a good product is when it comes to hats.
Yes, we do.
And that wasn't the case.
Was not a good one.
And that's the NHL.
I know.
I might write an email.
I know.
Get hat launch to do
Bench
those.
Clears 20% off. Benchclears.com.
Let's go.
Say hi to Anushka.
Nanushka, what's going on, girl?
What's up, girl?
How you doing?
Are you ready to? We got to do some social media stuff. Let's see if you can remember your lines.
That was tough. Something for me to do that.
20% off. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. Yep. First Form at firstform.com. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Only use our link, and don't be buying anything without using our link. And do it today.
Cam and Strick. Firstform/Cam and Strick.
Get some of those hydration waters too.
Oh God, those are lifesavers in the morning, man. You don't have to be an athlete to take those in the morning. Mm-hmm. Drinking, you want to feel good the next day. You got to get up early. You got an event you have to do. You got to, it is what it is. You're dehydrated. Crush that bad boy. Make you feel damn good.
Crush that bad boy.
They got a lot of options.
Yes.
They got a lot of options. Check out their website.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Let's go.
Go there today. Hat Launch and hatlaunch.com, baby. Love everybody over there at Hat Launch. They make the best hats, best quality.
They do.
Put your brand on a hat and do it today. Customize it any way you want it. And do it today, like I said.
Do it today.
Yeah.
Best in the business.
Hatlaunch.com. And tell them we sent you over there at Hat Launch. And let us know, man. If you get a hat from Hat Launch, send it to us.
Yeah, take a picture.
Or take a picture. Maybe we'll send you something.
Yeah, exactly.
How about that?
Absolutely.
We'll send you a maybe something from Bench Clears or something like that.
We could do that.
If you get a hat from Hat Launch,
but you got to post it on social media and be like, hey, what do I get?
Well, that's all right. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do that. Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swing dicks.
Bellman.com, Buick GMC on one side of the street, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side. Say to Danny boy.
Danny, what up, baby?
And Dale.
And
Kenny.
Happy 4th of July coming up.
Yeah.
Love you guys, man.
We'll be back with
Troy, Missouri.
Regular scheduled episode next week.
Yeah.
Jordan Binnington on this one. We appreciate that. Follow us on all social media. Everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
All that stuff. We're everywhere, man.
Everywhere. And follow all our sponsors too, man.
Yeah.
And support the sponsors.
Love you guys.
See you guys.
Be cool.